I'm in it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Gabagalooza. What's going on? The Monday edition on a Monday.
Wait, who the fuck is this guy?
Who are you?
What are you talking about?
Who are you?
I'm me.
Who's you?
Tony. The one and only.
Rigatone?
Rigatoni?
Rigatone in the flesh?
It's true.
Rigatoni in the flesh.
It's
people.
true. It's true.
He's real.
He's
real.
actually here, people. He's actually here. Welcome to another Monday installment of Gabagalooza. How you've all been? It's good to see you. And yes, we got a special guest this week.
Oh, yeah.
Rigatoni.
It's going to be a good one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
buckle up
Buckle up.
or don't.
Get ready for some good laughs, for some good conversation, and most of all, some fun, eh?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a
Right.
good time, man.
It's always a good time. It's always a good time. So, Tony, how have you been since the last time you were on the show?
Not bad.
Last time you were on Discord and we were talking,
That's
and now
true.
you're in the flesh.
I know, and you guys are in what, week 11 now?
Yeah.
Episode 11.
Episode 11.
Incredible. It's been like 7-8 weeks since I've been here. It's going to be great. I've been not too bad, getting on back on that grind, doing the things.
That work thing. I feel that. But hey, we've all been on the MLB The Show grind, ain't that right?
That is true. That is
But
true.
how could you not love baseball? So let's just get into some baseball talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great to have baseball back. I'm gonna say it over and over and over and over and over.
We'll be
Pretty
signing
much
in
this-
September.
I'm
pretty
gonna be
much
saying it in
since-
September.
Okay, well,
it's
you're
great
right.
to have baseball back. We got two full weeks under the belt of the season. It's been good. Some teams been doing better than some other teams, but hey, it's been nice to just turn on the TV and hey,
Yeah.
there's baseball on any time of the day. It's fantastic.
Yeah, except for you, because you got YouTube TV.
Well, hey, I can at least watch the Yankee games and Met games, so I'm happy and content. I found a way to watch Yankee games.
You have.
Yes, Network. You have to subscribe through them in order to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Well, they actually have an app on the
yes,
TV, right?
they do.
Yeah.
So
Does
I've-
SNY have an app on
SNY
TV?
does have an app.
It has an app on the phone, but on TV?
Oh, I don't know about the TV, but I do know about the phone.
Hmm.
And there's always, your good old Apple TV broadcasts on Friday night that we know everybody loves.
Yeah.
They do not.
You had to remind me of
Well,
that.
something
Well,
I tell you what, something that I love is that the Rays are no longer undefeated. They have lost. They've been
defeated
Twice.
They do, however, have 2 full weeks of wins under their belts as they are 14-2 and still
true.
leading
Best
the
record in baseball.
AL East.
By a margin.
Yes, best record in baseball by far. So, speaking of records, let's just go ahead and get down into the standings. So, as we talked about already, the AL East, we have the Tampa Bay Rays 14-2. No surprise there. Best record in baseball right now. Then you got the New York Yankees at 10-6, tied with Toronto also at 10-6, and just behind them is Baltimore and Boston. Baltimore 9-7, Boston is 8-9.
Is that after their game this morning?
This is after their game this morning.
All right.
The AL Central, you have Minnesota in first place, 10-6.
Don't get used to
Cleveland
that.
is 9-7. The Chicago White Sox 6-10, not too good so far. Detroit and Kansas City round out that division at 5-9 and 4-12. No surprise there. The last two teams in the division. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. The AL West, a little bit of a surprise here. You have a first place team in the Texas Rangers at 9-6. Texas. Hey, maybe that DeGrom guy, maybe that was the only piece they needed, But then you have a two-way tie between the Los Angeles Angels and the Seattle Mariners. A little bit of a shocker, but Houston is in fourth in the division. They're only 2.5 games back, but they're at 7-9. That's a little bit of a shocker.
I mean, you get 2 weeks under the belt. You're still feeling it out there on a World Series hangover. Altuve isn't around. He got hurt in the WBC. So, but I without a doubt would be sure that they'll hit their stride at some point.
At some point, for sure. But then you have the lonely Oakland A's. They are
Man, they're so bad.
3-13. Hey, they're bad, but New York Mets barely escaped them twice.
That's true.
This past weekend. So, it's...
The Mets.
Yeah.
But my favorite story from this weekend regarding the A's is the possum.
The possum?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
possum?
yeah. You haven't. I don't think you've heard that story. I was gonna tell my parents that story last night, but I forgot to.
Yeah.
So in how Oakland, their stadium is very run down,
Yes.
and at one point, I think it was during opening week, right? It was during the
Yes.
opening week series.
Yeah.
Literally, a possum fell down from the ceiling into the booth, the away broadcast booth,
Yeah. It is now made
as
a
it
home
was
in that
going
booth.
on. And it made home in that booth, and undescribable things were found after their road trip.
So
As the
they
Mets came into town.
started their season, right? Like a 3-game homestand against the 3 or 4-game homestand against the Angels. They find the Angels broadcast finds this possum. And they're like, oh, interesting. So Oakland, they're gonna take
Something
care of it, right?
surprises
But no,
Oakland.
Oakland goes to Tampa. They go to Baltimore. They come back. The Mets are getting ready for their series starting off, and the team that was gonna set up the SNY broadcast walks into the visitors' broadcast booth and is met with one of the most undescribable scents that they've ever smelled
And sights that they've ever seen.
in the booth, because the possum was not taken care of, because of course nobody's really like at the stadium while they're on their road trip. So
Because,
it's,
Oakland, no one's
it's
there.
now
I guess,
the
when they're on
home
the
to
road
a
trip.
possum.
Yikes! That's,
Yep.
3-13.
And so they literally had to be in, some
Yeah.
other press box booth.
They were
But, I remember Gary was talking about, there's a freaking pull in my way. He's like, I'm trying to look around the pull. They had me set up here. Ron was talking about, how, when he got up the stairs to go to the walkway, some, people were just, ushering him really quickly to that room so they wouldn't go into the away broadcast booth.
Yeah.
They basically just shoved him in
my
there, and he was like,
God.
okay. And he had no idea what was up until they finally
And
told
of
him.
course Keith wasn't there, so
Well, yeah, Keith doesn't. He ain't going
Keith
on the West
doesn't
road trips.
go on road trips.
He doesn't go on road trips. He'll go to the Eastern.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, he'll go to Miami.
Yeah, he'll stay along the East Coast, the
Yeah.
NL East teams that they're facing, the interdivision stuff, maybe the Yankees, but yeah, he don't go on road trips.
Okay. Well, hey, why don't you tell us about the NL here, pal?
Well, the NL. Starting with the East. There's really no surprise that Atlanta is still doing very well. They have 12 wins under their belt this season with only 4 losses. They're 7-3 in their last 10, and so are the Mets, 10-6 on the season. They were hitting a little bit of a weird stride there. I believe they were 5-6 at one point.
Who, the Mets?
Right? I believe, right? Weren't they
Yeah, we had one. We went 3-1 in Miami, and then came home to who did we play?
Wasn't it Philly?
We played
No,
San
it wasn't
Diego.
Philly.
Diego.
It was no. After the first series in Miami.
After the first series in Miami, we went to Milwaukee, got swept by
Oh
Milwaukee.
yeah, so then that's
And then
where
we
it kinda
came home to
went,
Miami.
and then Miami.
We took 3 out
two
of 4 or 2 out of 3.
Either 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4. But yeah, we were
then the
win one,
Padres
lose
took 2
one,
out of
win one,
3.
lose one, and then we took 2 out of 3 from San Diego, sweep Oakland.
Yeah, which has helped us to a 10-6 record. Miami evening up at 8-8 in the 3rd place spot, and then the surprising Philadelphia Phillies in 4th, 4 games under, 6-10, and then the
they are
Nationals at
missing
5-11.
Bryce, right?
Yeah, Bryce is a big piece, but you'd think with all the additions that they made.
That's true.
But the one thing that is still plaguing those Phillies is that bullpen.
Yeah, speaking of that, I'm looking at the run differential between what they've scored and what they've given up against. They've given up 91 runs so far.
Yeah.
They only scored 70.
That's a
Zach
lot.
Wheeler's been iffy. He hasn't been himself in the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
Taiwan Walker, banking on Taiwan Walker is iffy. He's either really
he's
good
either
or really
on
bad.
really off, yeah. And they're 3rd in runs against most given up, behind Oakland and Chicago, the White Sox. But moving on to the NL Central on the other side of Chicago, they are not in first place, but Milwaukee is at 11-5.
Not surprising.
That is also, yes, very surprising. I guess that sweep against the Mets really jolted them.
They've looked very good. They got a lot of young guys coming up hitting big.
Yeah,
big spots.
Yeah, they've only given up 49 runs this season, which is very, very good, and they've scored 77. Cubs behind them at an 8-6 record, and then the Pirates in third behind them. More wins than the Cubs, but more losses at 9-7. So it keeps them in third place. Another kind of surprise there that Pittsburgh is off to a pretty good start.
Yeah.
And then the Cardinals in fourth, a little bit surprising, 7-9 to start the season.
Yeah.
They're 5-5 in their last 10. And then rounding out that division is the Cincinnati Reds at 6-9, which isn't that terrible considering all the other teams in the other divisions. They haven't even lost 10 games yet. And then finally the NL West. It's actually a pretty tight race from 1 to 3. I mean, you got Arizona at the top right now, 9-7.
I like Arizona.
Shocking.
Very
They
shocking.
got a fast young club.
Yeah.
Giving up more runs than scored in their first place. And then the Dodgers at 8-8. San Diego behind them, not tied, 8-9. So they have more losses than the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're in third. And then the Giants 5-9 and Colorado 5-11, rounding out the NL West division, which is ain't no surprise there. But surprising, there's a lot of surprises in the National League. Like a lot, with the Phillies being low, the Brewers being high, and the Diamondbacks being high.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Pirates too.
Cardinals,
Cardinals being low.
I mean, there is always that old adage, it's the second week of the season.
Yeah.
You can't bank on anything yet. There's still
Absolutely.
6 months ahead of us.
Absolutely.
But at some point, you got to start asking, are these trends going to stay the same?
Yeah, it's
Probably not.
I would expect most teams, probably not, but for the teams that are in last place right now in every division, I don't expect them to change.
Yeah.
It's, I think maybe the AL Central might.
Yeah, the Royals and Tigers will probably
might
flip a few
flip-flop,
times. The Reds and Pirates might flip.
I mean, I don't know. It's going to be iffy for a while, but I wonder how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm just very curious. But, hey, since we're talking about baseball, let's get into our weekly baseball talk segment, A Slice of Goodness. Now, if you're new and you haven't been here before for this segment is A Slice of Goodness, where we highlight 2 individual players from this past week who we thought excelled past standards. And Tony here, he's actually going to give us the last, number 5 Slice of Goodness for this week. So I would like you to start off here. Who is your first slice of goodness?
Well, my first slice of goodness this week is going to be Big Pistol Pete Polar Bear Pete Alonso, baby. Leading the league in home runs with 8, and he has just been clutch out of the gate for the New York Mets.
Yeah, and that's not just the National League, that's all of baseball.
It is all of baseball, and he's sitting at a 267 average, which is okay.
That's reasonable.
It could be, it's reasonable. It could be a little higher, but the OPS is still over 1,000, and that 8 home runs is really helping him. He's driven in 14 runs.
Yeah.
And really, obviously yesterday he came up clutch in the 9th inning, tying up the game with the ding dong in Oakland, and he hit that thing a country mile.
Oh yeah.
And it's just been looking pretty good with him so far. With really, it's not really the home runs that I am happy about the home runs, but just the amount of clutch that he has now. Really coming in the big moment. That's what you need out of your third, fourth hitter.
Last night was prime example.
Yeah.
It was prime example.
Mm-hmm. So, it's just, it's looking pretty good with him. And if he can keep it up, man, he can be in the top home run race once again. He could be trying to reclaim his crown.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll see him out in Seattle in July doing the thing he loves to do best, hit home runs.
Oh,
I would hope so.
Hopefully,
I would really hope so.
Yeah, and hopefully he will win this time.
It's an interesting derby because the Seattle's a pitcher's park.
It is a pitcher's park.
So,
not a lot of long balls going on.
Yeah, not a lot of long ones.
It'll be very interesting. So, but that is my first slice of goodness.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
So my first slice of goodness comes from Seattle.
Oh.
And it is their left fielder, Jared Kelenic. And Kelenic has been on fire. He has been on fire. He's been batting .362. He's got 3 stolen bases, 4 home runs, 8 total RBIs. He's got an 1.146 OPS. He's got a .423 OBP. So, and this is only in 47 at-bats. So, he's been on fire, and he's really been, like, helping this team so far. I mean, you got J-Rod, who's going to do his thing, but maybe this is the other guy that is able to complement that team.
You got his strikeout numbers on there?
I don't have his strikeout numbers. I could probably find out his strikeout numbers.
This is the 2 years, the 2 cups of coffee that he had with Seattle. The strikeouts are really, king.
In 47 at-bats, he has 15 strikeouts.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's like a third.
Yeah, that's
a third of his Ks.
So it's about
he's averaging
every
a K
third
a game.
at-bat he strikes out, which isn't terrible if you really look at it.
Yeah, it's a small sample size being this early in the year, but
it is.
I mean, you keep that pace up for 162. That's very good.
Yeah,
and it's good to see him actually, putting the bat on the ball, because his last 2 times he's been up with Seattle, the strikeouts have just plagued the guy. And it's good to finally see him get into what the Mets thought he was going to be.
we look at this, right? He had in 2021 he had 106 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And then he took it way back last year, and in 163 at bats he had 61 strikeouts. So it's a little less. It's about a fourth of his at bats or strikeouts. But so far it's about a third. So let's see if he's able to keep that number relatively low.
Yeah, the fact that he's able to get his average up this high early in the season is really going to help him out.
It really is. It's definitely going to help him. And I mean, honestly, for Seattle, I would hope that they're able to, and for their sake, I hope Jared stays hot, because I don't want Houston winning the division.
I'm sure. That's a big thing. Him and J-Rod together, you put them together, and then you have Teoscar out in right field or DHing. That's a solid outfield.
That's a solid outfield.
Seattle's done there. They did some very nice moves in this offseason.
Yes, they did.
To bank up. And speaking of average, that could lead right into somebody else that we're here to talk about tonight.
Yes, that is.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and just give off my second slice of goodness here. Luis Arias of the Miami Marlins. And he is leading the majors in average. Before today, his average was above 500. Before yesterday, his average was above 500. He is batting .471. That leads the league, in both leagues. Mm-hmm. And he's only had 51 at-bats, 7 runs, 24 hits. He's got 1 homer and 6 RBIs. But, hey, this trade worked out for him. It's working out for him so far. And honestly, the other one in that trade that, got sent the other way, I mean, Pablo Lopez has been doing pretty good as well.
He's working out really
well.
So
the trade has worked out well for both teams.
It's one of those win-wins.
If Arias is able, I mean, look, he won AL batting title.
Yeah.
AL batting title last year. I won't be surprised if he wins the NL this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be between him and McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil.
Most likely. As long as McNeil is able to keep up what he was producing last year.
Yeah, and stay healthy.
Yeah, and stay healthy for sure.
That's a big thing.
But I definitely think that Luis Arias is primed to win the NL battle.
Yeah, he's having a really good year. I saw a stat this morning that before last night's game, he was the only other person to hit over 500 this far into a season was Barry Bonds.
Wow.
So he's in some pretty
he's in some
worthy
company right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can kind of harken back to remember 2012 David Wright hitting well over 450 to May.
Yeah, he was
to the middle of May or early June. If he can do that, crap. That's great.
If he does, the worst part about it will be when that descent back to earth comes.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully for him, it's not the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Because that will really hurt Marlins' chance.
Hey, that's my second slice of goodness.
And your final slice of goodness.
My final slice of goodness for the week.
And then we're going to my final slice of goodness. And I'm staying in the state of New York.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm going to the other borough.
Oh, boy.
And that is Garrett Cole as my second slice of goodness.
Okay.
Because The fact that he had thrown a complete game yesterday.
Oh, that helps.
Who the hell does that anymore? First of all.
Sandy Alcantara.
Sandy Alcantara.
Aside from that, nobody.
Nobody.
Yep.
I mean, he threw 9 innings yesterday against the Minnesota Twins. He had only given up 2 hits.
How many pitches did he have?
I'm not sure. That's actually a very good question. I'm looking at the line
check
that he
for
had for that game, just in general. He had given up no earned runs, so it was a complete game shutout 2-hitter, and he struck out 10 Twins and only walked 1.
Oh, that's a very good.
It was a very good start for him, and it was nice because, I mean, it was only a 2-hit game for them, so it really...
Yeah.
He was kind of dominant the entire game.
for
It
sure.
definitely was make a statement because
Yeah.
the Twins walked into the Bronx and took the first 2.
Well,
and then
the Twins smacked them in the mouth the first game.
Yep.
yeah,
Big time. You know, almost like what happened in Milwaukee
yeah,
for
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
You know, they slapped us in the mouth big time. Kind of gave us like a wake-up call, I
Yep.
guess. But, I mean...
Yeah, the Yankees
hey,
have had their wake-up call, and the Mets have had their wake-up call. You know, it's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
the
It's early in the
Yankees
season,
still
you know?
haven't lost a series.
That's true.
So that statement game from yesterday from Cole was a big one.
Yeah. And he's been just roaring hot in his first 4 starts of the season. 4-0, obviously.
Yes.
He has had a decision and wins in every one of his starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
In 28 1/3 innings, he has struck out 32. His whip is below .75.
Oh, that's very good.
And his ERA is at a .95.
yeah.
That's very, very freaking
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Especially him, the majority of the season, pitching in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And keeping up his dominance on that pitcher's mound
Yeah.
in Yankee Stadium. That's tough to do.
It's very
So,
good.
absolutely give him props for that, and he's just off to a roaring start. I mean, he's obviously trying to chase the Cy Young this year in the American League because just Verlander ain't there anymore.
No, that's...
So, it will be you'd be hard pressed to tell me that he won't be in the final race.
And it's
later
really
in the
showing
season.
because last year he led the league in home runs given up.
Yes.
So keeping that ERA under 1 through the first 2 weeks of the year is something special. You don't
know,
see a lot of that anymore.
Cole's, I mean, hey, Cole's second in strikeouts in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
32. And the only guy that's above him is Pablo Lopez.
Yeah, the
So-
guy that he faced.
The guy that he faced.
Yeah.
It was a
So-
good duel, and
It was.
hopefully we'll see that once more when they
Yeah.
go into Minnesota this
And to
year.
answer my earlier question, he threw 109 pitches.
109.
So
That's not bad.
it's not bad. 73 strikes. So you can
good.
equate that's about 36 balls.
Yep.
But 109 in 9 innings is very good. That's a little over. That's like
Yes.
12 an inning. That's
Yeah.
a 12 pitch inning every inning.
It's
Just about
as
70%
a
strikes.
Yankee fan,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it because I really had doubts once they put a real hard stamp on the sticky stuff. I had real
sticky stuff.
doubts about like Cole still being like efficient and like a really good number 1,
Yeah.
and he's kind of proven me wrong because I thought that he would be really bad without like them
little something.
getting down on the sticky stuff. And it's possible he may be using something. I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, with the checks getting more consistent. But speaking of checks and sticky stuff, did you see Domingo Germán got caught?
Yes.
And he didn't have any real repercussions in the moment
Yep.
of that game, which you saw Twins manager Rocco Baldelli was not happy
Yes,
with.
he got ejected for it.
He did. If the MLB is going to press these rules into everybody's head and you do
Yeah.
come across something like that where you are told, hey, you got to get rid of this, there should be something
Yeah, there should at least
out of the game.
out of the games.
Done.
Yeah, that should at least be like a done deal thing.
Yeah.
If you find some kind of sticky stuff. Now, if it's like, if it looks like somebody's sweating their butt off, right?
Yeah.
And they're wiping their head,
Like Michael Pineda.
and right, and they're using that, okay, but
Oh, yeah,
you
it's
got to
just
be able
sweat.
to tell,
Yeah.
right? But like, if you see something like that and you tell the player to go wipe it off,
I mean, if
gotta
you
take
got
them out of the
umpires
game.
standing there at the line, touching their hands, touching the guy's glove, the hat, the belt,
Yeah.
and they find something that's not supposed to be there, you gotta just send them on their way,
It's got to be,
and then let the league deal with it after.
Yeah, 'cause
but
it's
they
gotta
need to
be,
do their job first.
they want it to be uniformed
Yeah.
for every team, but I don't know how you enforce that when it's not.
Exactly. It was a prime example of the league. The higher ups are saying you got to do this, and then the people executing that or saying, nah,
Yep.
I'll let you off with a pass.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, we've given our 2 slices of goodness. Tony, who is your slice of
Mine
goodness?
slice of goodness. We're going north of the border to Canada.
Oh.
The Toronto Blue Jays and Matt Chapman. I've always been a fan of Matt Chapman. He's just that guy. He's got that, if you will, that dog in him.
He's got that dog.
What have I told you? Matt Chapman had that dog in him.
He, even back in his days in Oakland when that team was good back in 2016, 17,
Yeah,
him and
playoff
Matt
team.
Olson on the corners. But he has been off to an incredible start. He's played in 15 games. He had a 14-game hitting streak going into the year. He's batting over 420 with a couple of homers and some RBIs. But the big one was his series in Los Angeles out in Anaheim against the Angels earlier this past week. Hit a couple of homers, had some big RBI games, and he's just doing it all. He's really paying off that trade that Toronto made to try to boost that offense. And kudos to him, it's a walk year.
Yeah.
He's in the last year of his contract. He's getting up there in the age column. I think he's about 29, 30.
Yep.
So, yeah, good for him. Good for Matt. Love to see it. He's been looking to find that form. He was a little off last year.
Yep.
And his last year in Oakland.
Last year was
So,
kind of just
yeah, I mean, it was an adjustment period.
Yep.
It's a new team, new country
You're playing
all
in a-
together
yeah.
for 81 games. But yeah, he's kind of that cornerstone right now, the veteran that's helping with the younger guys.
Yeah.
Even though their younger guys right now could even be considered veterans. They're a couple,
True.
2 or 3 years in. But yeah, he's a big guy that could really help that Toronto Blue Jays team compete with the Yankees
Yep.
and the Rays and even Baltimore if they decide to keep up their winning ways. And Boston. We'll throw Boston in because they're only 1 game under 500.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll just
I
throw.
guess
We'll be
so.
nice. They've exceeded expectations to this point through the year, I'd say.
Yes.
You know?
I would say so. So, hey,
Yeah.
that's our weekly slices of goodness.
Yeah, some good ones this
That's
week.
some good ones, and I honestly hope that each person that we talked about, I really hope that they actually keep it up
Yeah.
for
Maybe not Garrett Cole.
Okay,
Biased.
all right there, pal.
Pete, definitely keep up the work.
Nah, I want Pete to break his leg. No,
Whoa!
I'm not gonna say
Whoa! We didn't go that
I'm not gonna say
far.
something like that.
Speaking into existence.
No, I'm not gonna know. No, the wood's right there. You can knock on some wood. It's okay.
Maybe later.
There's some wood right here. All right, folks.
It's-
So, guess what? The fight for Lord Stanley has been officially commenced.
started.
Yeah.
Playoff hockey is among us. It starts
Tonight. It actually
Tonight.
starts in 20 minutes.
20
The Islanders
minutes
tonight, right?
The Islanders are going to start at 7 o'clock tonight. That is the first one. But we're going to go through series by series. And
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, since we're here, we can, why not give our predictions of who's going to win
Absolutely.
round 1
Absolutely.
of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But first, I'll go from left to right. And as we have it on our list,
Yes.
we will have the Western Conference first.
Okay. Okay.
So for the Western Conference, I'm going to go top to bottom and start off with the number 1 against the wild card number 1. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be the Colorado Avalanche against the defending Cup Avalanche
Yeah.
against the newbie first playoff appearance Seattle Kraken.
Oh.
They're
That's a
in the
good
playoffs.
series.
That is good.
That's
That
a
is
series that I might stay up for.
honestly, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? You know, the Kraken are they're the Kraken
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
you know,
they're
they've
the
really been
Kraken.
cracking down.
The Knights, when they got in for the first time, they made it all the way to the Cup Finals.
They made it all the way to the Cup
So-
Finals and faced Ovechkin in the Washington
Hey,
Capitals.
maybe
Yeah.
Phil McCracken might get there.
Yeah,
I mean, what?
Hey, man. Whoa. Maybe.
maybe, but that's not the only teams representing the Western Conference here.
Yeah,
You got
we
the
got-
number 2 seed,
Okay.
in that top portion of the playoffs. It is going to be the Dallas Stars against
Yeah.
number 3 Minnesota Wild. Now that's gonna be a very interesting series.
Yeah.
Interdivisional matchup. They had faced each other all year long. They were basically neck and neck with each other
Yeah.
for the majority of the season. I'm actually very interested to see how that's going to go
I'm-
down. A
I'm
very, very underrated
interested
playoff series right now.
Just to see a Minnesota team in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've
Yeah.
seen how some Minnesota teams have fared. But lucky for them, they're not facing anybody from New York.
No,
So
they're not facing
maybe
anybody from
they'll
New
have
York.
a little bit of luck on
Well,
their side.
who knows? Maybe they'll face someone from New York later
That's
on.
true. They have two chances.
They
to
have
face
two
somebody
chances.
From New York.
But we're going to round out this Western Conference with two more series going on. You got
Okay.
the Vegas Golden Knights, the best
aforementioned Golden
record
Knights.
team in the Western Conference against the number 2 wild card in the Winnipeg Jets. The Whiteout have made it to the playoffs, and they're going to try to face Jack Eichel and the
that's
Golden
right,
Knights.
Jack Eichel.
Yes, Jack Eichel
Almost
is
forgot about
finally
that
in the
trade.
playoffs.
Yeah.
He's finally in the playoffs.
Who would have thought sending him from Buffalo to Vegas would get him there in 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then you got the last series, which I think is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh,
In
absolutely.
Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings.
There's bad blood.
There-
There's bad blood. In
You're
that
going to
rival-
see some
These
fisticuffs.
two teams will face each other in October, and they'll be at each other's throats. So
And they've been at it all year long. Same thing with Dallas and Minnesota,
Their division.
but then some.
Yeah.
With the fact that they've been neck and neck all
yeah,
year
take
long.
Dallas and Minnesota, amp it up by maybe like 2 or 3, and you got Edmonton and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So that rounds up the Western Conference.
That's a solid conference.
That
Those
is
are-
very,
those
very
are
solid-
8
solid
teams.
conference.
Those are some
That-
good matchups
Yeah.
for round one. And
Yes,
for the
There's
West.
very-
no
very
like
good.
clear. I wouldn't say that there's a clear team that you like.
Yeah.
Them. Well, maybe there's one, but you just don't know about their opponent.
I know.
Yeah.
But going to the Eastern Conference.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets interesting because let's face it, the Eastern Conference is the hottest.
the
It
Eastern
is
Conference
stacked.
It is stacked.
Stacked.
You'd be hard pressed to really not think that any one of these teams will go to the
Yeah.
cup and win it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And first off is the mighty overlords,
the record setting.
the record setters, the big bad Boston Bruins as
Yeah.
number 1, facing the number 2 wild card team in the Florida Panthers.
Wow, one of the original 6 against one
Yeah.
of the teams from the South.
Yeah, teams from the South that came into the 90s. It's going to be
Yeah.
a very interesting
Speaking
matchup
of
there.
original 6, aren't half of the original 6 teams in the playoffs this year?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much,
Interesting.
except for Detroit and Chicago and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
3 of the 6.
I would say, yeah,
Half of
of the original 6 is there, man. But you got that as the first stop there, and then our second stop will be, this will be a very interesting series in Toronto Maple Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh. Yeah,
They
there's
were
a
neck and
lot
neck
of-
pretty much all year long. Maple Leafs had the upper hand, but we'll get back to the Maple Leafs as
Oh,
we
we
kind of
will
go through our
get back
predictions
to the
here.
Maple Leafs.
And same thing with the Lightning. We will absolutely get back to them as well.
It's good to see 2 teams out of Florida in the playoffs because
Yes.
you know a state that you wouldn't think hockey is like a big place, a big thing down there.
It's big now.
It's it's been amping up, especially with the Lightning winning all the time.
A very successful state they have become in
Yeah.
Yes.
the realm of hockey.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that they had their All-Star game this year.
Yeah, and the fact that
So
the
it's really
Panthers
attracted
were,
more fans.
and the
to game.
Panthers were very relevant to the beginning of their
Very
tenure.
relevant, and they were fighting their way through, able to beat Pittsburgh and take that second spot.
Yeah,
in the
good.
wild
I'm
card.
glad. Nobody wants to see Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Nobody.
Let's see Sidney.
First time
Yes.
in his career, Sidney Crosby will miss the playoffs.
Good,
Good.
We can all agree on
and
that.
this is one of the first playoffs that we haven't seen Crosby or Ovechkin
Or
in a very
Ovechkin.
long time. At
Yes.
least one of them has been in the playoffs
Yes.
for a while.
Since they basically had been
Entered
into
the league, yeah.
But that rounds up that top half. Then you got the bottom half, which is the first game that's going to start in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that is the Carolina Hurricanes against your number 1 wild card, New York Islanders.
Wow.
The Islanders were able to keep that number 1 spot. It took
for
a
them.
lot of fight.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We'll talk about that as we go through our predictions here. But they were able to stick it. They beat Montreal handedly in their last game of the season, which really helped their odds and gave them the playoff spot. So it's really going to be an interesting series there with Carolina as well. And then rounding out, which I think will be the second, if not the most exciting series on this list, just because of the history that they've had with each other. The New Jersey Devils are back in the playoffs as a number 2 seed.
Shocker. I didn't see it coming.
Behind
never see
the
it coming.
Carolina Hurricanes, neck and neck.
Yeah.
They were 1 point off, I believe, 1 or 2 points off from winning the division against your New York Rangers.
Yeah, they were.
They
113.
are also back in the playoffs as well.
Yes.
trying to defend
That run that they had
Hey.
the
last
run that they
year.
had last year
I
and
just
get their
wanna-
revenge.
I just want to say, let's give it up for New York hockey.
First time
You know,
since 1994 that the Rangers, Islanders, the Knicks, possibly the Nets, and the Devils have all made the playoffs. And we all remember what happened in 94. Well, I mean, I don't. I wasn't alive. But the Rangers won the cup. So maybe some good vibes coming around.
Yeah. Except for the Sabres.
Yeah.
Rip.
They almost actually made it though.
Did they, though?
They gave it a fight.
Did they,
Almost.
though?
All right.
They were like 5 points out.
So,
Did they?
hey,
Were they, though?
let's,
No, they were like 2. They had 91 points. And the Islanders took the wild card with 93 points. So,
You sure about that?
I'm looking at
Buffalo?
it right here. Yeah, Buffalo. It's right there.
Yeah. With
You
Pittsburgh
call
with
me
91
online?
points.
Yeah, Pittsburgh also at 91. So even if, the Islanders or the Panthers didn't get in, they would have to get through Pittsburgh. So
Yep. That would have been very
So,
interesting to see.
hey, let's get into some of these predictions here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kinda-
As the Buffalo Sabres have a future ahead of them, let's just look at what we have right now
Yeah.
in front of
Yes.
us.
Yes,
With
absolutely.
the playoffs, we just went over everybody.
we did.
So
Do,
let's.
do we want to start with the Western Conference?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, might as well.
So let's start off with that first matchup we talked about, right? Let's give our predictions for each series, and take it
Yeah.
in unison, right? So Colorado, Seattle. Who do we think is gonna win that series?
Now, it's going to be interesting. I personally don't think it's going to be a wash for either two.
No.
I think it's going to be a tight series.
Yeah.
I think it will at least go 6.
Okay.
I like to think it will at least go 6, maybe even 7.
7 would
Never
be
know.
nice. Game 7 is always fun.
Just because I'm not so sure about Colorado right now, even though that they won the
They're
cup
the
last
defending
year.
cup.
I'm not sure if they have enough.
Who
I'm
they-
not
they
sure if
got
they
any
have enough
big
gas in the
names?
tank. I'm not sure.
They're
but,
getting up there in the H column.
Yeah.
But I
But-
mean, you can play until you're like 50 in hockey.
Yes.
Yeah, but I will say, and that's actually, if you play 50 in hockey though, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, right.
It is very true. No, not everybody's Jaromir Jagr
Yeah.
or
Yes.
Gordie Howe
Or,
or
Joe Thornton.
Joe Thornton, Jumbo Joe Thornton.
Jumbo
But
Joe.
I will say, and if you want to give my answer right now,
Go
it's
ahead.
going to be the Colorado Avalanche that takes the series.
I'm also going
yeah.
to side with Colorado.
I'm with
I
Colorado. on
like
this
the
one.
Seattle Krakens. I like the team. I think they're going to make it interesting,
Yeah.
but just not enough.
They'll have some fight.
I-
Definitely. They're not going to go down easy, but I think with the Avalanche having won the cup last year, knowing what they're doing in the playoffs. I mean, the Kraken do have some guys that have been in the playoffs, but them as a squad haven't been a playoff squad.
I mean,
so
you got the defending champs, and
anytime
they,
you got the defending champs,
I mean,
it's tough.
it's
It
true,
would-
but they
yeah.
have the experience.
It would also
Yeah.
be different if the Kraken weren't in their first time in the playoffs.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
it was like they've been there many times and
yeah,
like
Yes.
like the
then I could be like,
Knights.
well,
Yeah.
but Kraken,
Colorado.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
you're not gonna do it. Colorado's gonna take
Rip.
Yeah.
that series in round
All right.
1. Next is the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. Now that's a two
That's a
pretty
toughie. That's a
even
coin toss.
matchup.
So-
It is a pretty big
So
coin
I'm
toss
just gonna
right
go
there.
right out there, and I'm gonna say the Minnesota Wild is gonna win this.
I haven't really had many thoughts on this game, this series. It's definitely a coin flip, but I'll take you. I'll one up you. Go with Minnesota.
I do.
They need the people of Minnesota need some good vibes from sports in their life after the.
Unfortunately,
Twins
Philly's
and-
not gonna get anything nice for a while.
Well, it would have been incredible if the Flyers did make the playoffs, made it to the Cup, and then lost. What are the odds of that happening?
So for me, I think that this series is going to be another very tight one.
I think it goes 6 or 7.
It will definitely go 6 or 7, and games will be tight.
Yeah.
Considering I'm looking at the standings and the goals for and against that they've had and what they are coming off of, I would love. I mean, honestly, like just looking at it on paper with the stats and everything and where they're at, I would say Dallas.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with you guys and say the Minnesota Wild are gonna take
Okay.
round one.
Another clean
They're
sweep
they're,
for
they're
us.
gonna shock the world and go round 2. They're gonna do it. They're gonna
And then
give
lose.
Minnesota fans the state of hockey what they want,
Absolutely.
what they need.
Okay.
A win.
All
A
right.
playoff win.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we go to the next series in the West. The Las Vegas Knights against the Winnipeg Jets.
I'm just gonna go right out and say I think Vegas may even sweep Winnipeg.
Yeah, give me the Knights.
I
have
agree
loved-
with the Knights. I don't know if it'll be a sweep though. I think it'll be in 5.
I just don't think the Jets have what it takes against Vegas.
I think they
mean-
get 1. Come on.
Vegas was lucky enough to make it to the playoffs. They were lucky enough. Calgary just didn't have enough. Just didn't have enough in the end.
Yeah.
You know, but like I just don't think. I don't think the Jets are gonna have a chance against Vegas. I just don't think they are. I mean, like given that like you know they hadn't given up that many goals this year. They actually had given up less than Vegas, but with you know the with the the offense that Vegas was able to provide themselves, which was pretty decent, I think it's gonna help them. I don't know. I want to believe in the Jets. I want them to win. I heard their goal horn outside with the train going by. that could be an omen, but you never know. You never know.
Jets in 7.
I don't know about 7. I'm gonna stick to my guns though. I think Vegas in 5.
Yeah, Vegas in 5.
Vegas in 5.
Sure, I'll triple down.
And then the last series of the Western Conference, the one I am the most excited to see,
You don't even have to ask.
in Edmonton and Los Angeles.
Give me Edmonton.
Edmonton in 6.
I don't care. I don't like the Kings.
McJesus.
I have a chip on my shoulder from the Kings ever since they beat the Rangers in the Cup. So,
Yeah.
give me Edmonton.
I will say though that I'm gonna go with Edmonton as well, based on they score so many goals.
That's true.
such
Draisaitl
a
and
fast
McDavid.
team.
It's the best
Everybody
duo
thinks
in
of
the league.
McDavid. There's also Leon Draisaitl.
And then you got Nugent Hopkins, who's still there, and he's
Yeah.
still pretty freaking good. I mean, Oilers are going to take it. And I'm going to agree with my bro Nick. They're going to take it in 6.
6.
It's not going to be a cakewalk for them.
No,
but
it's
they're
going
going
to
to
be
take
a
it.
bloodbath.
They're going to take it, and there's going to be fights. I would like to
There'll be a
say,
lot
I
of
like to think
fights.
that there would be some fisticuffs and some penalties being drawn. There's going to be a lot.
All right.
So that's what
the
we
West.
have. We have that in the West. We got Colorado, Minnesota, Vegas, and Oilers, and we all pretty much agreed with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much how it goes and how it is. We won't go any further than that, just
Yeah,
because
we're only here.
we're only here in the first round.
Yes.
We will want to see how our first round predictions go. Now to the Eastern Conference.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets interesting. And first, you have the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers.
Give me Florida. I'm kidding.
Oh,
kidding.
you want
I was
Florida.
kidding.
I was gonna laugh right there in your face.
You want Florida so bad.
Hey, give me Boston in 4.
I will say
Give me Boston in 6. I
I'll
think
say-
Florida might give them a run for their money once that series
they
gets back
could.
down to
I mean, they were
Florida.
close to 300 goals this year, but
You know,
I'll say
I mean, Boston, it'll be a cakewalk for Boston unless Florida somehow figures out to just step on their throats right from the beginning and say, hey, you're not going to cakewalk right through us. But once this series gets back to Florida, I think they're going to have somewhat of an urgency to say, hey, we got to give the home fans a win.
yeah,
So,
and I agree.
I feel like Pasta and I feel like Marchand and the big guys for the Bruins will step up like when they need to, and they score so many goals.
Now, I will be kind of like the other side of that, where I know that the Bruins, I have no worries of them scoring goals.
yeah.
They need their goaltending to stay the way they are.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then they can give up a lot of goals too.
Yeah.
Which will end up being a lot of like back and forth, high scoring games, which will really hurt the Bruins' energy. But I still will say that the Bruins are going to take it in 5 against the Panthers. Panthers will win 1. But that's all they'll get.
I don't think so, but hey, that's fair. Very, very fair.
Who you feeling a sweep?
I feel a sweep.
Everybody likes a good sweep.
Every does like a little sweep. The Mets had that in Oakland.
Oh,
And going back to the Eastern Conference there, the Toronto Maple Leafs
Oh, Toronto in the playoffs.
against the Tampa Bay
My
Lightning.
favorite.
Now, we
thing.
said that we would go back and talk about Toronto and their playoff history.
It has not been good.
It has not
No, it
been
has
good.
not.
I think you could compare Toronto in the playoffs to the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know?
But worse.
Worse. They
Yeah.
are the definition of choke. You look up
Yes.
the word choke and you see their logo.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
It's just so unfortunate for them. It's just, but they're a good team though.
They're a
They are a good
monster
team.
house.
They're a
Austin
very freaking
Matthews
good team. With
is a very good player.
I mean,
he's
just
incredible.
Is, and then
He-
you got Mitch Gardner there as well, and Johnny
Yeah.
T is still there. I mean, they scored a decent amount of goals this year and didn't give up that many, and they won 50 games.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, can they keep it up? They got 111 points this year, which was very good, like third or fourth best in the league.
Yeah, that's a good season.
And then against Tampa, a decent year. They scored more goals but had given up more. So it's, can their goaltender keep it up?
Yeah, and I mean,
Really for them.
it's tough to go against the Lightnings because I could be wrong, but I think each of the last 3 seasons, the Lightning have been in the Cup Finals.
Yes.
So winning 2 of those 3. So anytime you see the Lightnings in the Lightning in the playoffs, you could be shivering in your boots. But I think Toronto will give them a run for their money at some point. But I think the Tampa Bay is going to win this one.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It is, history will not be outplayed.
They say history repeats itself.
History
Every
will repeat
single
itself.
Time.
I'm going to say, give me Tampa in 6.
You would know it because you're a history teacher.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
And for me, I will say Tampa in 7.
Oh, you
7.
think it's
I
gonna
do
go
like
7?
a good game 7.
It's going to be in 7. Toronto is going to blow it. They're going to have the lead into the third period, and they're going to blow it.
Final 5 minutes of the third period.
Probably.
Oh.
Final 2 minutes.
Hey,
of the
if
third
you're a
period.
Toronto Maple Leaf fan watching this, I'm sorry.
I
But
really
have
am.
fun watching the rest of the
Johnny
playoffs.
Superman
Do it every
and-
single season.
Johnny
Just have-
Superman and Steve Dangle.
Just
I
make
feel
sure
for
you get
I
your
mean,
popcorn because it's gonna be a long time on the couch.
What is it, Vasilevsky? No, that's him.
I-
The goaltender for Tampa.
Is he still their goalie?
I thought so.
It's gonna be a long playoff sitting on the couch.
To be, yeah.
Poor Toronto.
That's just what's gonna happen. It's Brian Elliott and Vasilevsky.
It's Vasilevsky.
So, 2 decent goaltenders, I will say. But can they keep it up? Can Vasilevsky be
the Vasilevsky.
the goal
Yeah.
Vasilevsky that he once was,
It'll be interesting
and
to see.
still technically is?
Oh yeah.
Can he?
Yeah.
We'll wait for that.
We'll have
But
to
we
wait and
got
see.
so far Boston meeting Tampa.
Yeah. So who's coming out of the next 2 groups?
Coming out of the next 2 groups is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders.
Oh my goodness.
So
Carolina was very hot to start the season, right?
They were
cooled
very
off a
yeah,
bit,
they
but
were
then
very hard to
kept
start
up
the
their winning
season.
ways.
And like they've been pretty much the same all year long. I mean, they won 100. They got 113 points. They won 100. Can't even do that in the NHL. But obviously a very good season. They were very overshadowed by the Boston Bruins.
Oh, I mean, everybody was overshadowed
Yeah.
by the Boston Bruins.
But like they had a really freaking good year. Now it's that, can the Islanders, can they stick with them?
I think you can.
So
just tell
I'm
the
just gonna
Islanders.
go. I kind of want you to give your prediction last here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go right off the bat here. Unfortunately, I'm going to say the Hurricane win in 7. I think it's going to be a back and forth series. I think it might even be win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think it might be that way until we get a winner. I don't know if the Islanders are going to be able to keep it going, especially after, a tough series.
Mm-hmm.
Tony.
Yeah, AP said some very good things. I think the Islanders will put up a very good fight, though.
Yes.
They absolutely will, and I think Game 7 is going to be a coin toss. I don't think it's going to be one of those whoever wins game 1 wins the series, one of those. It'll be a dog fight till the end, and you never know what could happen. But if I had to lock somebody in right now, I'd lock in Carolina.
All right, so you both got Carolina beating the New York Islanders. I would agree that it is going to absolutely be deep.
Yes.
It's going to be deep. It's going to be a back and forth like crazy. And like you said, Game 1 is not going to
Decide
the
series.
series.
Yeah.
But I'm still going with New York, baby. They're taking it at 7.
You guys have the season matchup between these two?
I do. How
Or
do you
Shim.
find that? Yeah,
Shim, you got the
Shim.
matchup between the Islanders.
Even
and
he's
the,
got Islanders in 7.
Well,
think-
I mean,
listen, I think
yeah.
I think the Islanders can because
They can.
Look,
They can.
It's just like I see it as that Carolina lost one of their top goal scorers.
Oh, they did.
I believe Svechnikov is not there, so it's going to be tough for them to really stick it. Islanders goaltending is very good as well. Not so sure about the Hurricanes goaltending. So I think that might be a big contributor on what helps the Islanders to
The
win.
Islanders, I think, got the old adage that the Mets had. You just gotta believe. And you know what?
Believe.
I'm kind of, you're making me rethink my thoughts.
Right?
Here.
3-1.
Carolina won 3-1.
3-1. So
odds are in
Carolina's favor, but
part of me, I will say, when I sit down and watch these games, I will be rooting for the Islanders.
Yes, absolutely. I will be rooting for the Islanders. It's going to be.
and I like Carolina
it's
too.
gonna be-
I don't hate
It's
Carolina.
going to come down to their goaltending. But it's just going to really be whether or not that the Islanders are going to be able to take that next step and prove that they can do it.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gonna be one of those series where whoever loses game 1, it's gonna be interesting to see how they respond in game 2. Because if you
Agreed.
lose game 1, say Carolina loses game 1, and the Islanders just continue to pound it down their throats for the rest of the series, it could just flop. But I think, and that goes for both teams because if the
absolutely.
Islanders lose game 1, you don't want to see it snowball. So
Absolutely.
But like I said, goaltending is going to decide the series.
goaltending is definitely going to decide the
Is
series.
going
It's
to
not
decide.
I don't think you're going to see more than a 1 goal difference in final score throughout the
I
series.
could agree.
So that ends that. We go to the final series of the entire first round here, and it's an exciting one.
Oh yeah.
Of the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Now, these two teams finished second and third in their respective Metropolitan Division. Devils had 52 wins, Rangers with 47. Rangers had given up less goals. Devils have scored more.
I want to ask you guys, can you guys agree that this series is going to also go deep?
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to
Yes,
go at
it
least.
will go deep.
It's going to
It will
go
go
a
at least
minimum
6.
of 6.
Mhm.
I think
Anytime
I think
the
it's a
Rangers
minimum
and Devils
of 6.
face off, it's a good game. So
Honestly, though, I like Rangers in 7.
I mean, don't even. You already know my answer.
Yeah,
You
your
already
answer's
know
right.
my
But
answer.
how many games?
7. I'll give it a 7. I love a game 7.
Yeah.
I like game 7s anywhere. If every series ever could be 7 games in playoff format, I'd want to see 7 games. But I think Shesterkin is going to have a couple of shutties in this series, so
Yeah.
there you go.
And I will be also going with the Rangers in
Yes.
7.
Nice.
Go,
Nice.
let's go Rangers, baby.
Yes.
They
Well,
are
hey,
going to take it
let's go Islanders and Rangers.
If the Islanders and the Rangers match up in round 2, that is going to be one of the best series. That's
going to be one of the most electric
That's something you could
series.
compare
it's
to
going
like
to
Mets,
be
Yankees,
very
or Giants,
exciting.
Jets.
Yes.
Well, that's because it is basically those things, but in a
basically,
different
the
sport.
same, New York teams playing against each other
that'll
in
be-
playoff format or whatever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's the only sport where we'll see it early in the playoffs because of the other parts we'd have to see it in a World Series or a Super Bowl, which will never happen in the case of the Super Bowl. So
And I can already give my prediction of that series, but we won't get to that. We won't get into that as I lost out of my I can't English. As we're done with the playoffs here, as the rounds that we have chosen.
Yes.
Are
Go ahead, list off our winners real quick.
Yes, we'll list off
time.
our winners really quick as we wrap this up. You got Avalanche
yep,
beating Kraken. You got Wild beating Stars. You got Vegas beating Jets.
Yep.
And you got Oilers beating Kings.
Yeah.
All the high seeds
Yes.
except for Minnesota
yeah.
beaten and going into the next round. So we think that it will be
There's always
Colorado.
an underdog story.
It will be Colorado against Minnesota and Vegas against Edmonton. And then in the East, the Bruins the Lightning.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as of 2 against 1,
Yeah.
Yep.
you got Hurricanes and New York Rangers
Yeah.
in the next round. So, yeah, it's
gonna
be exciting.
Look, we've talked about this in the past couple weeks. This is the time, if you've never watched hockey before,
watch some hockey.
this is the time to watch it.
Watch
you will be drilled to the TV. You won't want to take your eyes off of it because it is just that electric. And like these series that we talked about, Edmonton and LA Kings, and you got the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
Watch those series.
Yeah,
Definitely.
especially if Boston ends up facing Tampa in round 2. That's a
Yes,
series.
that's
to keep
another
your eyes
series that
on.
you're going to have to keep up.
And if the Islanders play the Rangers,
Yes.
That's a series to keep your eyes on.
Look,
That's the dream is
Yeah.
Boston, Tampa,
Yes.
and then the Rangers and the Islanders. Because the winner of those two teams will be interesting to see. The winner of those two series is if they happen.
Yes.
Who will still have enough left in the tank to win the championship?
I honestly-
not the
Conference
cup
finals.
finals, the conference finals, because those two series are going to take everything out of everybody on that ice.
So
so
I
exciting.
honestly think that my overall prediction, I kind of do think that one of the teams that come out of the West is going to win the title. I think they're going to win the cup because
Of how
I
much,
think
yeah.
they're like, you have to think about some of these teams in these series. They're going to span
Yeah.
games, and they're going to be tough series to win.
Yeah.
And then you have the next round. If you make it, those are going to be even tougher games to win.
Yeah.
Even more important. And they're going to go. Those games are almost guaranteed to go 7,
It's very
6,
possible that every series in the East, in all 3 spans leading up to the Cup final, will go 7 games.
Yes, absolutely. And I honestly think that if a team in the East wins it, it's going to be because they were conditionally trained enough.
Yeah,
They had
it's
that
Yep.
condition to maintain it.
It's so hard to keep
Yeah.
yourself up in the playoffs like that
Yeah.
in this sport.
Yeah.
It is so hard. It is so
Adrenaline.
adrenaline inducing
Yeah.
and just energy taking.
Yeah.
It just wears you down so much, and somehow one's gonna win it all.
Yes.
It's so exciting, and like we said, if you've never seen the sport of hockey, watch it right now.
Yes.
ESPN, TNT, TBS.
Yes.
Basically every night. And it's going on right now as the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders are about to drop the puck.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we got one last topic to talk about before we get into part of our favorite part of the podcast. Basketball playoffs have commenced, and the fight for the title has started.
Huh?
Yeah, I know it's
What?
okay,
Well.
but basketball playoffs are live. They've been going on. Game 1s have been completed for, I believe, every series so far.
Yep.
And really the only one that we're really going to talk about here is the New York Knicks winning their first playoff game in
Their first game won.
a first game
in a
won
long
in
time.
a long time.
Good
They
for them.
defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers in game 1. I believe
Yes.
it was like 100. It was like 106 to like 98, something
97.
like that. 97.
Yes.
And the Knicks kept it up. They kept it up at the end there. They almost let it slip.
Yes.
They let Cleveland take their first lead since the first quarter of that game late.
Yeah,
So it was very interesting to see how they just
kept up.
kept up.
Yeah.
They were able to get the fouls that they needed. They were able to get the buckets. I mean, what's his name there?
I don't know.
Number 11, I believe. I forget the name.
Brunson?
Brunson was front and center.
Oh, yeah.
That fourth
Yeah.
quarter, he stepped
He
up
was-
and took
Like,
the ball,
over the-
and
I mean,
he
hey,
made virtually
hey.
every shot he
Yep.
took.
So I will say this: Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. We talked about Jalen Brunson. And Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
They all
He's-
stepped up in that fourth quarter. I mean, defense is one thing, and the other team hitting their shots when they weren't. For
And RJ
the first
Barrett
quarter.
is still there, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
those guys I listed
wow.
off in particular really played a part in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and it's kind of shocking because those guys have been first half players, especially Julius Randle.
Yes.
And that's something that we can't have to continue in this playoffs. But they need to be well rounded, and they were pretty well rounded that whole game.
Absolutely.
So if they can keep that up, they could beat Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I think that the Knicks are going to end up beating Cleveland.
They're going to do it!
I think Knicks basketball
Where's
is
LeBron
back.
these days?
He's in LA.
He's in Laker territory.
Did they make the playoffs?
They did.
They did make the playoffs.
They did make the playoffs.
What about
I believe
those
they lost
Golden
their first game, though.
State guys?
They are in the playoffs.
That doesn't surprise me.
But enough about basketball. We are going to get into one of our favorite segments of the show. Ashley's outrageously random questions. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow.
Is it okay?
Sometimes I feel like he just, it's almost like, the record player where it scratches and it just gets stuck where it's like
Ring-a-ling, 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 ring-a-ling.
So I unfortunately left my questions up
Oh,
there.
here, don't worry, I got you.
So, thank you very much, Tony, for grabbing those. I'm gonna have to situate this here because you guys were very right by saying I was probably not gonna be very comfortable for most of the show. So, I'm just gonna get out of shit like this and. All right, we're
start.
live. We're back, folks. It's all good.
We've been
all good.
live for... How long have we been live for?
A
little
over an hour now.
We've been
Yes.
live for over an hour.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Come
indeed.
on.
So, if you
gotta get your head in
haven't
the
been
game.
here for this segment of the show before, this is
I
where
almost read it.
we,
accident.
my wife Ashley, writes some very random questions, and we read them off during the show. Normally, we have 5 questions apiece to read to each other, but this week we've given Tony some questions to read as well. And Tony will be reading off the very last question, question 11,
baby.
which is for you. But all questions are for you, and we want your input. But this question right here is specifically, I can't speak words,
I can't
Specifically.
wait.
for you.
It's
The
like
pacifier?
It's like
Tony.
specific standard time because it starts specifically at that time.
So I'm going to place this right here on Tony's lap,
that
and
one. That was a
he is
good
going to
one.
read that last. So I believe that I went first last week. Am I correct by saying that?
I don't know.
Regardless, I think
cares?
Matt's going to go first this
I'll
week.
go first regardless because why not?
Yeah.
And we will have our
So we have to answer these two?
Yes.
Okay.
We all answer.
Yes.
All right.
And then the last one there, they answer.
Do
we give
we-
our answers.
Okay.
But their answers is the most important.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right, I got it.
And our first question
Yeah,
is, what is a skill you want to learn?
ice skating.
Oh,
that's
yes,
a good
me too.
one.
Yeah.
Dude, if we knew how to ice skate, bro.
We would be
If we all knew how to ice skate, we would be
We'd be the
solid
next big
hockey
thing.
players.
We'd be
Yes.
the next big thing in New
we
York.
would be solid hockey players.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's true.
I agree.
Honestly, though.
I would have loved to.
So, honestly, drawing.
Oh yeah, that's a
that's a
good
good
one.
one.
I
Like-
can't. I never got past stick figures.
Yeah,
in
I
elementary school.
I can't do
art,
anything
so-
better
I
than the
used to
stick
draw
figures.
differently, you remember?
Yeah.
But then I stopped, and now I can't do that
Nah,
anymore.
well, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, learn how to play the piano.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Learn how to
That
play
is a
Instead of just being out
fantastic
there,
one.
like, with your hands.
I feel like
Absolutely.
like
the
that's
piano.
like that's something that I would like to maybe look into one of these days to maybe take piano lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
leads right
really
into one of your favorite things,
Mm-hmm.
the organ.
The organ. I would love to
Yeah.
learn how to play the organ. Then I can
Absolutely.
just do it myself.
Exactly. Instead of going
Right.
to all these other crazy places to go listen to an organ.
Yeah, well, people like me doing
You
that.
could
on
just
the channel,
go
which,
to
by
it.
the way, Matt's Mets subscribe.
Wow. Self-plug.
We do that every day anyway.
So,
every show anyway.
that was a good question.
good
Question
question.
number 2. Who was the first YouTuber you discovered?
That's a tough question.
I don't know.
There's many.
Are we talking like how are we talking? Like a person with the channel?
So I would
or
say
like-
I would like group or person. It doesn't matter. Like just
Okay.
a channel
Yeah.
that you, for your earliest memory,
Uh-huh.
were like you kept going back to their videos consistently.
Oh, we're a place where you used to comment, like, and subscribe.
Pretty much.
I-
Well, I mean, if
Honestly.
I would say mine. I was
it
too
was a
young
plug.
to
It
know
was
that
a
I knew how to
plug for
subscribe.
your
But yes, I
channel.
know.
Come on, I just walked in, let open the door right
Yeah.
open. Anyway, I'll have to think about it. I'll come back to
honestly,
me. Ask me last.
Stick figures on crack.
Okay.
That was Hop Diddy. That was
Hop Diddy?
Hop Diddy, yeah.
I watched a lot of their videos when I was younger.
You know what? That is,
I forgot about that too, you know? I was
Yeah.
thinking, like, anyway, I had a different answer, but until now, I have my answer.
Yeah, no, like, Hop Diddy is kind of one as well for me. I would say Team 4-Star that made all the abridges, especially Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
abridged.
yeah, that's a good one.
That was, like, from memory, like, the first, like, videos that, like, I kept going back to. But one that I say mostly is, like, the one I religiously was, like, I'm watching every freaking video. Stampy Longnose. He makes Minecraft videos.
Oh.
Oh.
It makes Stampy's lovely world.
Wow.
And he has a fun land where he literally makes games and he teaches you how to make them in Minecraft.
Speaking of Minecraft, I have something to show you guys, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So,
Murph, this is going to be a throwback for us. Do you remember the ASDF movies? Them.
Yes.
I don't know what channel it was, but them. They were. That is them.
Yes,
The
I would
peoples.
absolutely agree with you. Honorable mention for me too is 2BC Productions. They that was Johnny Superman, guy who played NHL. I remember started watching since like NHL 14. I think.
Oh.
That was
I'll say,
one. 13, 14.
You know, like an actual person, I guess, an actual like streamer, I guess. Like the first one that I like remember wanting to go and watch like all of their videos, Jacksepticeye.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, me it was Markiplier.
Yeah.
And I showed you Markiplier,
Yeah.
and that's when you discovered Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
Well, for the one that I still watch religiously every morning is Westy. He does a lot of. He used to do a lot of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4
okay.
videos and all that. That's where I found him. That's just like 10 years ago.
I'll say,
Still around
what is
today.
yours now?
The one that I still watch religiously.
Yeah, what is the one that
I'd
you
probably
go
still
to
say
most?
Westy.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
every morning. He starts his streams at 6:30 US because he's
I-
over in here in the great land of the UK.
I think I would probably say Tim the Tatman
Tim
or
the Ten.
there's a guy on Twitch. His name is Basilisk, and he plays
have
Rocket
not
League.
watched him.
And I thoroughly watch him a lot. He also streams on TikTok, and I probably watch him more on TikTok than I do on Twitch. So
That is very good. One, like, I will say that I've been binging right now,
Yeah.
is Dodgers Films, Bobby Crosby.
Oh.
I've been watching him play the show again. He's made a Super Mario series of Road to the Show.
Wow.
And he just hits dingers.
Jeez.
Like,
Well, so do we.
Yeah, so do
like
we.
last night.
yeah.
But I love watching the softball games. They're fun. They're fun to watch. That's something that I always wish that we did, and we did do that
Yeah.
with wiffle ball. But like, actually making it into like a YouTube series would have
Yeah.
been pretty freaking cool to
Yeah,
do.
if we had that recorded and made into a YouTube series,
We would have been the first.
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably not, but it would be nice to think that.
yeah.
And Ashley's was Shane Dawson.
No,
Was a vlogger.
Wow.
man, Shane Dawson.
I remember him popping up all over
Yeah,
my For
yeah.
You. The recommendeds page
Yeah.
on YouTube and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Very,
All right.
very, very good question.
Tony.
Now, Tony, he gets to answer one of our questions. He had picked 2 from you,
2 for me.
1 from me.
This is a good one.
Huh?
Which sports podcast do you enjoy the most?
Gabagalooza.
There's this one that I've watched. No, I'm kidding. I have.
So besides us, right? Pat McAfee, the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
I watch that every day religiously. That is how I get my sports.
You kind of
I like The Herd.
The Herd.
I like
The
Colin.
Herd is
I
good.
like Colin.
Yeah. He's fun.
Yeah, he is.
I like him.
Get up another one, and
Would you guys be shocked to learn that I don't really listen to sports podcasts?
Murph, I'm not because
Yeah,
I
not
don't
really.
either. The only time I watch The Herd is when he shows up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or Pat McAfee.
I mean, like, sometimes I'll listen to John Boy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or what was it, like 5-minute vids?
Yeah.
5-minute vids, that guy?
I'm not a big podcaster.
Not
Watcher.
really either.
Yeah.
Viewer.
So like back in the day, going back to like one of my favorite YouTubers, Stampy Longnose, he did a podcast a long time ago with a guy named Ballistic Squid, and I used to listen and watch that because like they would play a game but not talk about it whatsoever. They just play it and just talk on a podcast. And then there was another podcast when Markiplier started the Distractables podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to that for a while, which I need to start listening to again because they're funny as hell.
They are.
They are so funny. Bob Wade and Bob Wade and Mark, man. I mean, I grew up in freaking high school listening to them, and they're still funny as shit to this day.
That's a good question. Good question.
Excellent
Very
question.
good question.
But we all know that the real answer is Gabagalooza. Anyway,
Yes.
carry on.
Who inspires you? I'm going to give the corniest answer.
Me too. My mom. I'm kidding. I'm never mind. I'm not kidding. I take
be
that
watching. I like seriously though. My dad.
Yeah.
My dad. Literally every day.
He's a good influence.
He literally influences me every single day.
Yeah.
He inspires me.
Yeah.
And has basically shaped me into the person that I am today.
That is true. Seeing that we've been with him for 15
You can tell the
years.
difference. You can
At
tell
least
the
I have
resemblance.
been, yes.
And the differences. But most of the resemblance.
That's a good one. Shout out to Chuck
Yeah.
Chuckles.
There you go.
I would say my grandfather. He probably inspires me the most. He stepped up as a dad when I was really, really young, and it kind of just stayed that way. And I kind of look at him like a dad. So
Yeah.
I would say, my grandfather.
Nice.
That's a good question.
It's a very good question.
It's a heartfelt question.
Heartfelt question, but like we knew the answer
Yeah.
too. Like right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Would you rather run like Jack Sparrow or Naruto?
Oh, somebody remind me what Naruto runs like.
Oh, with the hands behind the back? The anime
I'm
run?
just gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
God, I think Jack Sparrow's run is so freaking funny.
I think it's funny too, but my answer is the Naruto.
Yours gonna be
run.
Naruto. I'm gonna be Jack Sparrow. Why not? I just like it.
I mean,
love
I
the
would
run.
like to do both, but I mean, like.
But like
Naruto-
his is
combination
cool,
of
though.
both?
Oh, dude, the combination would be
Oh,
sick.
That would be sick. Someone
Can you
needs to do that.
imagine?
Someone needs to do that.
Someone needs to do
Someone
that.
needs to do that.
I think I'm gonna pick Jack, but I think there's certain scenarios where I'd want to run like the other,
That's,
like run like one in
yeah.
like certain spots and then run like the other.
The only reason why is because I think Jack's run is funny.
It is
Naruto's is just cool. I
Yeah.
think it's just a cool run.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's literally, just
you remember when
battle.
we were? When was it? What movie was it? I think it was Skyfall. We all went to the see Skyfall, and then we all ran like James Bond after.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With
James
the
Bond
knees
run.
up to the chest.
If he put James Bond run, if she had put that in there,
Yeah.
James Bond run. Oh my
a good
God!
question.
Knees
That's
to
a
the
good
chest and pump in the arms, baby.
All right.
Where are we?
Oh my God! That you literally just triggered the Vietnam flashback.
Do you think your favorite baseball team will make it past the wild card round this year, or we could add on to this saying, will they get the bye, the first round bye?
I think the Yankees will make it past the wild card.
Will they be the 1 seed though?
I don't think they'll be the one seed.
Okay, fair. I agree. I
don't
think
think
the
they'll be the 1 seed.
Yankees will make the playoffs, win their wild card round, but they will not be the 1 seed that gets the bye in the
Yes.
wild card round.
Unfortunately, I think it's Houston.
I mean,
Again,
it's
even though they're
Part of me
like,
feels
down.
like Tampa's going to take the 1 seed in the American League. I don't know. I mean, like, it is tough to keep on pace to what they're doing now, but I mean, like, if this is a sign of things to come, watch out, everybody.
It's true. It's very true.
I mean,
But I mean, how long can you expect Jeffrey Springs to be, an
Well,
ace?
he's hurt. He's on the DL already, or the IL.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah. Really?
so like, harking back to my prediction, I didn't even think the Mets would even make the playoffs this year. Good right now, like they're just not. So it's like, yeah, I think
is going on in chat.
I don't know.
Anyway.
both your wives are
it was
going at it.
it was OBS.
But anyway, like I think the Mets can make it to the wild card, but can they beat the 1 seed again?
I think
Or the
there's
the
one
wild
of
card?
two things that is going to happen. Either the Mets are going to make the wild card round, and I won't answer what happens in that round, or they're going to choke in the end of September, beginning of August. Because every Met fan knows that once the calendar turns to August, or even the last week of July, we all run and hide because we know what's going to happen.
And it technically happened last year.
It did, but we were lucky enough that nobody else was anywhere near where we were except for the Braves. So,
And the Phillies.
And, the Phillies, and then the Phillies.
And the Phillies ended up going to the championship.
Yeah,
but,
anyway.
it's
I think they'll...
It's hard to say.
I think they'll get there, but I don't think they're going to be a home team in the wild card round. I think they're going to be one of the wild card teams,
Yeah, they'll be on the road facing somebody.
Yes.
They'll definitely be on the road facing somebody.
Okay.
But I don't have an answer for what will happen in that series.
I know,
because
me
it all
too.
Good
depends on
question.
who you play.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a good question.
A very good question.
All right.
Well, I'm down to my last two.
I am down to my
And you're
final.
down to your final.
We're down to our final questions.
And you are down to your last two. Look at you.
Yeah, I know. So let's just jump right into it. Have you ever had an interaction with a wild animal? Explain.
Interaction out.
Okay. So,
Like any kind of wild animal that you happen to stumble upon on that you just had any interaction
Does
with.
fishing count as stumbling upon something?
you don't stumble upon a fish.
Well, the fish stumbles upon your bait.
Oh, it stumbles upon you as it's landing upon the shore.
As it's eating its lunch.
It just says in general, have you ever had an interaction with a wild animal? So I mean,
Okay, all right. We'll move on.
I'm going to say yes, and mine was a garter snake.
The good
And
old
I was walking
snaky
my
snake.
dog, and you know how some walkways, one step's a little lower than the one right next to it. So I was walking, and I didn't see the snake because it was right up against it wasn't right up against the next block, but it was close to it, so I didn't see it as I was walking. And my dog had went to kind of just go pee, and I kind of just stopped walking, and I felt squirming underneath my foot. I was barefoot, and I looked down, and I see the snake,
Slithering?
spazzing.
Slithering?
And
He was just slithering right along.
I literally let go of my dog's leash. I screeched like an 11-year-old girl, and I
this
ran
yesterday?
straight into my apartment with my mom. No, it was not.
once you said into my apartment, I was like, oh, so it was yesterday.
Oh, no. Come on.
Yeah, I feel that. I would say one that I can remember. Me and Ryan were in the woods going to your place, and a deer just showed up on our right.
Deer.
Just a deer, like a
John Deere?
It was a buck. It had
John
antlers.
Deere.
It was a buck.
Oh, my.
And I see it there, and me and Ryan are just like, hey, and then suddenly it does a dead sprint right in front of us, past us, and then gone.
I was terrified of you. I thought you were going to kill him.
Like,
I could tell you another one, but I'll bring that up in our later segment. So I'll bring up the question again. But
I don't have a good one. I mean, I've had my fair share of gardener snakes, but not up close and personal. Although I have been followed home by a stray dog. I don't know if that would count as a wild animal, but we'll throw it in there anyway. Yeah. He hung out for a bit. We chilled, and then we took him to a shelter, and I got him
aw.
this thing. Yeah, I was driving home from college, and there was just this thing in the road, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And it was a dog, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a dog!" So anyway, then I went home, and then I'm walking into my garage, and I hear this something walking up behind me, and I'm like, "Hold up, what is that?" And it was the dog. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, hello!"
It's a good question.
that's a very
good
good
question.
question.
All right. My last question is, what is your lucky number, and who wears it?
I've had many numbers.
I've had a few numbers.
I've had many.
Okay. So I guess I'm the only one that's had one number.
Yeah.
So my number is 10, right?
Oh.
And no one really wore the number that inspired me to wear it.
Yeah.
I just remember
I do always remember you were
Oddfellows.
Yes.
Right? I wanted to pick number 2 for my first year, but Colin Mangano said, no, I want number 2. So I said, okay.
Was
I
he
can't
older
get,
than you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's-
can't.
yeah.
So I was like, I can't get Jeter. I was like, can I get 20? Jorge Posada? No. It's taken already. So I said, okay, I don't care. So Gary Trudell handed me number 10. And I went, okay. Half Jorge. Half Jorge. And I kind of just kept on wearing it.
Oh, jeez. I've had so many numbers.
Wait,
throughout
what
my
did he
life.
say? He said that Jorge divided by Jeter was 10?
No,
Oh, because that's what I was thinking.
Half of Jorge.
Half of Jorge.
half of Jorge. Because Jorge divided by Jeter was your number. There you
Technically,
go.
yes.
Boom, look at that. Maths. Anyway, Murph, continue.
So
Maths with Tony.
So like I've said, I've had many numbers throughout my life for specific reasons of luck. Like I remember in Little League, I had number 7
Yes.
for Jose Reyes.
Yep.
And Joe Mauer. I had
Oh,
both
yes,
for Reyes and Joe
Joe
Mauer. And I just
Mauer.
thought that was a lucky number for a
Joe.
while. And then I wore 12 in travel ball. That was for my mom. Because her birthday falls on the 12th day. And then it turned into 10,
Yeah.
like you in high school, all 4 years of high school, because I wanted 12 in my freshman year. But Sammy Vavachi took number 12 from me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, number 10. Andy Chavez wore it.
Yeah.
Gary Sheffield wore it as a Met.
Yeah.
Terry Collins at the time currently wore it. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And and now it's kind of turned into 22.
22 is a number that I see you in.
Yes.
When I
As
think of
my
your
number.
jersey, it's 22.
It's my
yeah.
number and the story behind it was I was about to join the men's league and I'm texting them and they're like, hey, what do you want your number to be? And I was like, I don't know, I don't want to wear 10. That's high school, like I'm done with that
You want
number.
something new.
And so I was like,
Something
I
flashy.
text Ryan and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be on a new team. What number should I pick? And he's like, well, what's the team name? And I'm like, the Astros. And he goes, oh, well, how about at the time 4 for Springer? I was like, okay, number 4. And they go, sorry, it's taken.
Ooh.
Even though it wasn't.
Ooh.
And so I'm like,
That's
okay.
a story we'll have to get into.
And so I'm like, okay. Well, I don't really know the answer.
Okay,
to that.
anyway.
But I was like, okay. 4's taken. Ryan, what else? He goes, 22 for Josh Reddick at the time. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
okay.
were an
So
outfielder at
I was
the
like,
time.
22, and he goes, you got it. And I'm like, okay. And then ever since then.
Speaking
Josh
of,
Reddick.
I just saw him at the Renegades game last week.
Rick?
Mr. Hobbs.
Oh, Mr.
I was about to
Hobbs.
say Josh Reddick.
No.
I think they're season ticket holders, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, I think so because they were sitting in the fancy seats.
Yeah, they sit behind home
home
plate.
plate.
Yeah. They're usually there all the time.
All right, good question.
And I'll probably end up seeing him there this Sunday when I
Yeah.
do the DJ games, maybe. It's rec games, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Good question.
But
What's your answer?
I don't know. I also had a ton of numbers. In Little League, I always got stuck with the biggest number because I was the biggest jersey and I was a large child. Anyway, the time I got to high school, I had taken 11. I don't even
The number
remember
after
why.
me?
Yeah,
I was 10,
were
you
the
were
number-
11.
I was sandwiched between you and,
then
Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah.
So I stuck with 11 for my 2 years in high school ball, and then once I got to the men's league, I was like, you know what, I need my own number, and I was kind of forming more into a PO at that time. So I said, well, it's easy. I'll just take number 40 for Bartolo Colon. So yes, I'm the white Bartolo Colon. You're welcome.
Italian Bartolo.
That was basically it. So yeah,
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That was a very good
that was a good
All
question.
right, well, I'm done with my questions. Tony, your
Let's
last
see.
question.
If your food came out bad, would you say something? Like at a restaurant, would you say something to your server?
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Honestly, yeah. Like I don't really do that. Like I don't really call them out on that. You know what I mean?
I don't like confrontation in public places,
Same.
especially when it comes to my food. So
Same.
I would
Agreed.
not do it. I would get somebody else to do it, and I think we all know who I would get to do it. So
And
Same
that
with
person's
me.
in chat.
Same with me. I would try to get the other person to do it. But I just deal with it. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, like, if it's-
they screw it up,
Yeah.
but I'll
if
deal
it's
with it.
not like totally wrong, like if I order a pasta and I get like a pork chop, then I'm gonna say something.
Well, yeah.
But like if I wanted a medium rare steak and it came out like a little more medium,
Oh, I won't say anything like that.
I mean,
like,
I'll be
Yeah.
disappointed while I eat
No,
it, but
yeah,
I'm gonna
like you
eat
said,
it.
Yeah.
if it's like I get one thing and I get completely
Yeah.
something else,
Yeah.
then
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I'd be
say
like,
something.
hey, I didn't order
Or
this.
if it's like
Yeah.
something that I could just fix, like say
Yeah.
I didn't want any onions on my burger, I just take them off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just take them off.
I would say
gonna
minimal,
cause
like
a
something
fuss.
like that.
No.
I
But there
definitely
aren't people that
won't
would
bring
cause
it
that
up,
fuss. Yeah.
right? But like, I feel like if you order something and you get something completely different,
Yeah.
you
Like, if
gotta
it's
say
two
something.
totally
Yeah.
different
You
foods.
gotta say something.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
not
say,
gonna be pissed about it. I'm just like,
no, this
Yeah.
is fine.
this isn't
I'm gonna
what I
eat
ordered.
it.
Yeah, if
Like,
I,
are you enjoying
if I'm
your
like,
food? Uh-huh.
If I'm like,
It's just
hey,
what I
you know,
wanted.
can I get a 12-ounce steak? And they're like, cool. And then I get handed a 2-pound pork chop. I'm gonna be like,
I mean,
I wanted a steak.
hello?
Like, I think it's happened to me like once in a restaurant where I actually got something that I did not order, and I was just like, like, you know, and, like,
I mean, okay.
it was something that I was
Look.
okay with, and like, say, like, I will say this though, like, if I'm in a situation where like I'm at a drive-through
Yeah.
and I get something and it's not what I ordered, or I didn't get something, like, I don't know, like, I'm just like,
I've always gotten into the habit of drive-through, you know, just take a quick glance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because there
always,
have been a
yeah.
few times where I've gotten the food gone to where I needed to be and realized that I've gotten the wrong stuff.
yeah.
But there has been one time that I got the wrong thing, but it was something better and more expensive than what I ordered. So the other person
So
got something
I was
worse.
gonna say as well, you know, I guess this question would be situational because
Yeah,
you
like
know
if
if
you
I'm at a restaurant, right,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, could I get the house salad, and they bring me a steak, I'm not gonna be upset.
Yeah, but then you just have to see if they charge you for that steak. Because you say, excuse me, I ordered the house salad.
Yeah.
And then how are they going to prove that you ate the steak? The plate.
It's not the plate
knife.
and the knife.
And the fork. And the little bits of...
It's in my belly already. You can't do shit.
But yeah.
All right,
question.
so that is another very good question. We're down to our
final
last
Question
question.
number 10.
Question number 10, and then
The chat question.
the chat question. The
has
audience
a very lovely A on it.
for audience.
I thought it was for Ashley.
Oh.
Or me, for Anthony. Or for you. But not for you. Anyway.
Question number 10.
It's upside down. What is the best live event you have ever gone to?
Oh.
I mean,
I have a very good one. It's not a Met game. Although that's very up there on the
Okay.
list. I'm going to go with something a little more
Yeah,
recent.
that's the only thing I really think
that
of.
I've done. About a month or so ago, Sydney and I went to emo night up at the Chance, and that place was poppin'. It was incredible. I walked in. Well, I said to her before we even went, I was like, "Is this like a rave or is it like a concert?" And she goes, "I don't know. I've never been there before." And I said, "Oh, okay." And you know, I'm not one for like going out, going like crazy places. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. We'll try. We'll go out. It's a Friday night. Let's have some fun. So we go and we walk in, and I'm like, oh. I don't really know what to expect. 5 minutes in, rave. I was like, oh, okay. But we're there with some of her friends. It was a great time, and I got very much into it, more so than I thought I was going to be. So it was a great time.
Okay.
All the late 90s, early 2000s.
I would say, like, a live event, like, I've only been to one concert, and it was K-Fest at Dutchess Stadium, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that wasn't fun,
No.
right? I got to see some cool music, you know, performers,
it,
but, like,
hot all
it
the
was
time?
Really hot.
And like,
sticky
and like
hot.
you gotta
It's all
pay
open.
extra for it. Like, and they stick you on the field, right? If you don't
Yeah.
get tickets in the stands.
It's all open. Like,
Yeah, like,
there's
there's
no
nothing
shade.
there.
Nope.
So, but I would definitely say live event, it would be a Yankee game, and it would be a Yankee-Boston game when they went in extras, and I'm not going to remember who hit the single as a walk-off, but
Jeter.
you know, that was electric. It was just to hear the pop of the stadium was crazy.
There's I could say
Yeah,
so many Met
I have
games.
a few more.
So
in my
many
back
Met games.
pocket.
Like, I can go,
Yeah.
like, to, like, before, you know,
2015
before last
World
Sunday, I could talk about, you know, the playoff game that I went to last year against San
Yeah.
Diego, the one that they won. I went with my dad and my brother on me and my brother's birthday.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell can you top that? You know what
It's
I mean?
true.
Like, I'm with
By
my
going to the
dad
World
in a
Series.
playoff game, seeing the Mets win, on my freaking birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
Playoff
time that the
game.
Mets had ever played on my birthday since the day I was born.
Did you guys make it out to the World Series in 2015? Or
No,
was it
we
just
did
the
not.
LCS?
We only made it to the ALCS. We almost went to Game 3.
Okay.
We almost went to Game 3.
Okay.
Which was the game that they won.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, playoff games, they were fun. Don't get me wrong, they were absolutely fun. I will say though, 2 years ago, me and my dad, even though the Islanders lost, we went to game 4 against the Bruins,
yeah.
and all I remember is the one goal that they scored to tie the game late in the third, and the whole place fucking shaking, and I literally couldn't hold up, and so I literally just hugged my dad so that I could friggin' stay on my feet, and he hugged me too, doing the same thing. So it was one of those situations where just crazy experience.
Yeah.
With that, and there's many more.
Yeah.
So many
It's a good
walk-offs.
question.
I think
question.
the other one that I would, if I had to throw another one in, it would be, you remember in 2019 when the Mets went on that run at the end of July, start of August, before it all fell apart? I went down to a game, Mets, Nats, and Thor was on the bump against Strasburg. And before the game even started, it was 2015 atmosphere all over again. It was insanity out in the parking lot. Everybody was going nuts. The stadium was rocking before first pitch even happened. And then Soto hit a home run. And then the stadium went silent. But that game was intense. It was back-to-back homers. Luis Guillorme hit his whole... I will always remember this. I sat next to a man from Long Island. And... him and I were making jabs at the players back and forth, something about Familia and something about Guillorme, and I was like, oh great, this guy's our last hope before we lose. And he hit his first career home run, and I have never hugged a more random man in my entire life. But that was great. It was a great time.
Oh, man.
The stadium was just rocking. You thought you were gonna fall off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could even say the first win I ever took you to.
Yeah, the first one was big because they had never won when I went before. It was like a 15, 16-year curse of my life.
And that was what, 2016?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Was that the Cubs game?
Cardinals.
Oh, right, the doubleheader.
Doubleheader.
It was the second game of the doubleheader. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because they lost the first game, but then the second game they won.
Yeah, we saw the ninth inning of the first game.
I believe so.
I think Duda hit a homer.
Duda
something.
is doo-doo. Okay.
Okay.
We've got our 10 questions done and out of the way. And guess whose time it is?
It's their time.
It's your time. Yeah, it's your time. We want your input in chat. If you aren't watching this live and you're watching this after the fact, please leave a comment and tell us your response. Tony.
The moment of truth.
Question 11
What
for the audience.
is Jack Black's best role?
What is Jack Black's best
Jack Black.
role?
Many options.
Many options.
A couple of recent options.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. A
Have you
couple
seen
of
it?
recent. No, but I did see the other one that he was in. The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yes.
Spoilers. Everybody, spoilers. But anyway.
He was also in Weird Al.
Yeah. Gulliver's Travels.
Mm-hmm.
Nacho Libre.
But then, you think about Nacho Libre.
Class of Rock. School of Rock. School of Rock.
School of Rock. I mean,
Schoolhouse
there's
Rock.
just so
I don't know how.
many, man.
I don't know
Jumanji.
how.
Oh yeah, Jumanji.
like
Jumanji
that.
2.
Personally, I have to say Nacho Libre. Personally,
It's just so damn funny.
it is so funny, and he
killed it.
outdoes himself in that and for comedy aspect. Mm-hmm. But also, as well, I could also go and say that Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny.
Tenacious D. I would love to see. Are they still? Do they still
I
go
don't
live?
think they
I don't think they are anymore. Are they?
go live and tour anymore.
God, man, if that's.
I
one
think
I
that
would
they
love
had.
to
I think
see.
that I can't remember the other guy in the group.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
But
about.
I
see
feel
his
like
face.
they had a little bit of beef, not too
long ago. Yeah.
and that's why they stopped.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a good question. So let's wait and see some of these questions from the audience here.
Well, we do have one from Sydney in the chat. School of Rock.
I'd have to go with
Yes.
School of Rock.
School of Rock is
School of Rock is a good one.
I mean, you can
great
even go Kung Fu Panda.
Oh,
yeah,
He killed it as Poe.
true.
Killed
Yes,
it as
all-
Poe. I'm
all
just
of the
trying to.
Kung
You know
Fu
what?
Pandas.
Let me look up all the freaking movies he's been in, man. He's awesome.
Fun fact: before I trimmed my hair, I had many students refer to me as Jack Black. It's up at the high school.
I would have never changed how I looked.
I mean, I needed to get my hair. It was very hot. It gets too hot.
All right, so Ashley said
Kung Fu Panda
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. That's a good one.
or Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Yeah, he played.
I forgot he was in
believe
Goosebumps.
he played R.L. Stein in the movie.
Oh
Goosebumps.
yeah, he was in another movie like that.
Who, by the way, has the same birthday as me, R.L. Stein.
Creepy. Goosebumps always gave me like goosebumps.
Well. Now, if I had a thing that went.
Oh, you'll be using that one later. I can tell you that.
God, man. He was in the Gorillaz music video? Oh, he was in the Gorillaz music video. Yeah. Yeah, he was on Beachside of Busker. Yeah. Humility. Gorillaz had a song named Humility, and he was in the music video. And by the way, yes, the New York Islanders are down 1-0 against
I
the
thought that was
Carolina
the Islanders on
Hurricanes.
the bottom.
Yeah, no, they're down 1-0. I'm just trying to look at all the movies. I mean, obviously, Kung Fu Panda, the Goosebumps.
Yeah.
He was in there.
I do always enjoy Gulliver's Travels.
The D Train.
The scene where like he's it's the theater.
Yeah.
And they're doing the Titanic and Star Wars. And
Yeah.
He was in the 2011 Muppets movie.
Which one was that? Was it just called The Muppets?
Yeah.
No, I think I remember that one was horrible. Horrible.
Oh, man.
Year One. That's another one.
I remember he was in iCarly for an episode.
Yeah.
Remember that when they went to the con? They went to the Gamer Con?
Oh yeah.
And he was one of the enemies.
Is that
in
the
game.
My Name Is Adu one?
No. Yes. And I think his name was Aruthor, or Spencer's name was Aruthor, and his was something else.
I don't remember.
But that was
Shallow
fun. And my name was
Hall.
Adu.
We got Shallow Hall.
Shallow Hall.
Okay.
Never seen it. But
Oh,
I'm
what was
sure
that
it's
one
good.
movie that he was in?
With that guy and the other
It was
guy?
the movie where
And that
he
girl?
saw the girl as, like,
Oh, with what's I know her name.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know her name. Gwyneth Paltrow. Wait, that's it, right? The one you're talking about?
That's not the. But what's the movie's name?
Hang on.
That's all I did. Tropic Thunder is also a good one.
Tropic Thunder, yeah. And again, Nacho Libre. He was in
yeah.
King Kong.
Oh, right.
He was in Shark Tale. He was
He was
Lenny.
Lenny.
He was the son. I forgot about that. Shit. I don't think I've seen the movie that I'm talking about yet.
Oh, that is Shallow Hall.
That is Shallow Hal.
Duh.
Shallow
There's
Hal.
only one L.
It's
You know,
Shallow Hal.
Chuckles is probably like,
I was gonna
"Can
say
this guy
Shallow
read?"
Hal right here. Yeah, no, like that's another one.
Well, I'm just not gonna reach anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
The cable guy.
that's
Larry?
a good one.
Just the cable guy.
So I mean, we're coming close up here to 8:00. So I feel like we might not be able to do our last thing that we plan on doing, but I feel like we need to talk some Harry Potter. I feel like it is time for us to bring up
Looking at the camera.
this. Hold on.
Okay, ready? Wait. Oh, wait. Are you gonna do the thing? It's my
That's
Keith
our clip.
Hernandez.
That's our clip. Yeah, that's the Keith Hernandez impression. Keith Hernandez effect. But we do have
So
something to look at.
So, if you have not heard, recently HBO announced that they're going to be creating an HBO Max original series on the Harry Potter books. Now, they're going to have one full season for each book. And, we've talked about Hogwarts Legacy before, and we've talked about how I'm in a Hogwarts Legacy Facebook page. Well, somebody in this Facebook page posted their, ideal fan castings for the roles of Harry Potter. And we're going to take a look at some of these castings. And we're going to react to them, give you guys our opinion. And we want you guys to let us know how you feel about it as well. Because there's some of them in here that are good. I completely agree with. But then there's some in here that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You kind of look at it and you go,
Yeah.
not sure. And, like, you never know. It could happen and be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it could happen and I could be completely wrong. But, for now, with no actual evidence, let's get into it. The Harry Potter TV series casting ideas, posted on Hogwarts Legacy Community by Nate Francis Ledoux Christians.
I believe it will be Nate Francois Ledoux.
No, there'd have to be an O in the Francois.
No, yeah, I think, it would. It would be Francis.
Yeah.
Francis.
That's our horrible French.
Yes,
Accents.
yes. Okay, so let's get in to the first two. Nick Frost and Rubius Hagrid. Now, you have Nick Frost has been in Fighting With My Family. He was the dad in that movie, At World's End and The Huntsman. This is going to be one of the hardest castings of the entire show.
Oh, and there are some very hard castings for this show.
To replace...
It's going to be extremely hard to replace the actor of Hagrid. I don't know if I completely agree with this one. This is another one where I'm kind of up in the air. How do you guys feel about it?
I'm kind of the same. Like, I wouldn't know until I see it.
I just don't understand why they're doing the books again. Like, there's so much more you could do. They could do the Cursed Child.
Mm-hmm. They could do the Cursed
Child.
Child.
The whole thing on the Cursed Child.
They could do, they could do a lot.
Because, Harry Potter is set in such a small time frame. It's 10 plus years, 10 to 15 years.
But if you think about it, if they actually really remake the books...
Series.
Yes, if they did remake the book, but how far are they going to go into remaking the books? Like, is there going to be a narrator that says, like, Dumbledore says, "How could you?" And then the narrator goes, "As Dumbledore whispered quietly." Like, are they going to do something like that?
Did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire?
Right? And he's like, "Did you really put that name in the Goblet of Fire?" Yeah, there's very good... Like, that... One big difference right there. Like, in the movies, there's a lot more emphasis on how they say things, and it's not line by line. So if they go something along those lines, then I'm sure that it could be great, because the books and the movies are very different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Same idea, different worlds.
So, Nick Frost's Rubius Hagrid is for us. Okay, so Timothy Chalamet as Peeves. I can see it. I
don't remember who Peeves is.
So Peeves he plays a big part in the game.
In the game.
And he's also in the books.
He's in the book.
He's just a poltergeist.
Yeah, Peeves is the funny ghost, right?
Yes.
The goofy ghost? Yeah.
The goofy ghost.
I don't know if I can see Timothy Chalamet.
Like, I feel like if you're going to get an actor like him...
That. He has such a deep voice and, like, a very, personality.
Like, if you're going to get a guy like him in these shows, you got to give him something totally different. Like, he needs, the big time role.
Maybe. But, like, I don't know. Like, I personally just knowing, like, how, Timothy's, mannerisms are compared to, someone like Peeves, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, on to the next two. Ooh, some big ones here. Mm-hmm. So, Michael Caine as Professor Albus Dumbledore. I really like it.
I kind of like that, too.
Yeah.
I've always liked Michael Caine.
Yes.
Yeah, he has a very good voice,
and he has that fatherly kind of personality.
Yeah, and he's done it well, especially in the Dark Knight trilogy. So
he could play some really serious
Austin
roles.
Powers.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was the father.
So I'm gonna say right off the bat,
we were made you know.
I agree with both of these. What? I would love both of these people to play both characters.
Mm-hmm.
Helen Mirren as Professor McGonagall, I feel like that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I was thinking of somebody. I was thinking of Judi Dench when we talked about this the other day.
Okay.
So, I can see this a little bit more than Judy.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. She always plays a good role.
Pretty solid two choices.
Yeah, these are two good.
I could absolutely see this happening.
These are like fan, the fan.
These
these
aren't confirmed. Job. The show hasn't even started to be casted yet.
Yeah.
So this is why we're just doing reactions to some of these. All right, so what do we got here? Oh,
this one's tough.
Keanu Reeves as Snape.
As somebody who loves John Wick and Keanu Reeves, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
I agree.
I just found that very interesting. Just like Keanu Reeves.
Literally the only thing I can see that resembles Snape
hair
is the forehead and hair.
Yeah.
This is the only thing.
Yeah.
And I just
This is another tough shoe to fill.
yes.
Alan Rickman is
Yes.
He was it.
he was Snape.
He was Snape. And when they casted him, J.K. Rowling was like, he's Snape.
He is Snape. So that one's gonna be tough. I don't really know who else could fit it. Like I don't have any names off the top of my head that I would willingly replace with this.
I had originally said the person who played Professor Sharp in Hogwarts Legacy because he kind of resembles him, and I feel like he might be able to.
Maybe.
Yeah, but that is just the voice.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, like, and he
tough.
actually kind of does look like
Oh well, then there you
Snape
go. I've
and
never
his
seen
character, Sharp in real life.
What about that guy from TikTok that dresses up like Snape?
Oh hell no!
Hell no!
All right, we got Bette Midler
394.
Dolores Umbridge. So she was the main.
The main witch, right?
in
Winnie.
yes,
Winnie?
in Hocus
Winnie.
Pocus, and
She's old.
yeah, she is. Honestly, I don't know a good. I don't think I can disagree, but I don't think I can agree.
Yeah, I think that the same thing can be said for Professor Umbridge. The character, the actress that played her.
Yeah.
Kind of because the actress that played her so well because she had everybody hate the character, and that is huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
Yeah, hate the actor. Hate
the character, not Tony.
We've talked about this.
Sorry.
Worst villains and like most hated in television. Like she only had 2 hours worth of movie time in that movie, and then she had like five
scenes.
and then a couple scenes in the next movies.
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna get a lot more screen time with Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're gonna hate the character all over again.
That's great. Not the actor.
Yes, not
the
actor
character.
or actress. I don't think I could agree or disagree though.
Yeah, I'm indifferent on
Yes.
this pick.
Same.
All right. So next two. Okay.
The tried and true MCU.
So I like both of these.
I do.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston as Professor Quirrell, and Benedict Cumberbatch as Lockhart. I think both of them fit.
I
I
see
think
Hiddleston as
if you are a
Professor Quirrell.
fan of seeing Loki die in the MCU, you'll love seeing him die in Harry Potter. You're welcome.
I definitely like these castings though.
Yeah.
These two I think could fit really well.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, I kind of low-key feel like that he has big shoes to fill, Cumberbatch, in that role, because, like, I don't know, like, it's such a different role for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely does more of the serious types.
He does more of a serious type.
I mean, he did Sherlock. He was a Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
And, of course, he was Doctor Strange. So, and he's been in some other British
So,
productions.
fun fact.
And, of course, the original actor who played Lockhart was tremendous in many other movies. I mean, he was in Hamlet as well.
As Ashley was researching some of the movies that they've done and some of the things they've been in, Benedict Cumberbatch voiced Snape in the games.
Oh, wow. Back in the old PS
Like in the
games and
PS3 games?
I believe the PS3. I believe it was
Wow.
a PS3 game.
Wow. How about that? But I don't see him as a Snape.
Me neither.
I don't see him as a Snape either, but I could see him as Lockhart. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
something
think
about
he
it.
would be fun, especially seeing him make
I would love to see him
turn
as Lockhart.
Harry's
Yeah.
arm
Yeah.
into like Jello.
Yeah.
That's always
Brachium.
That's a good too.
Armando! And then just... You can no longer feel any pain, and it's very clear that the bones are not broken. Broken? There's no bones left!
All
Oh
right. That's a
gosh.
good- those are good too. Those are two good ones.
Very good.
All right. Sacha Baron
Oh, Mr.
Cohen
Borat.
As Sirius Black, I don't see it. I'm going to give this one a hard no.
Same.
Yeah.
I can't see him. If I look at him and then
I see Borat.
He's in the role as Sirius Black. Sirius Black will become a laughing
King
stock.
Julian as Sirius Black.
Like I can't see it. I can't.
Yeah, no, I see.
All right, and Jim Beaver as Mad Eye Moody.
I could see it.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
could
got the
see it.
same, like...
Kind of persona and look. And
Yeah.
Jowls, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll clean my
Okay.
jowls.
But yeah, I think they got the same, like,
Resemblance-wise, I think they could fit really well.
they're stocky, they got the big shoulders. Like,
Bull
ready to...
bulldoggy. You know?
Yeah, very, very Winston Churchill-esque bulldog
Didn't he
looking.
play Winston Churchill?
He might have.
something?
Because I'm Winston Churchill.
What?
Okay.
Family Guy.
So, all right, not too.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
No on the left.
No,
Yes.
and
I'm
a
okay
good,
on the
and
right.
Yes.
and that's not terrible.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on.
All right.
Hugh Grant as Lupin.
Sam Pegg as Peter Pettigrew.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I like the Simon Pegg as Peter Pettigrew though. Hugh Grant as Lupin.
That's a tough one too because the guy that played Lupin was very good.
Very
Yes.
And Tonks.
Tonks.
Yeah, pairing a Lupin and a Tonks because it just seemed like their actor and actress had some good chemistry along with their characters. So.
Yeah. That's
That's
I don't
a
know
questionable one for me.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah, I'm indifferent on both of them, but I'm
Same.
leaning a little more towards like than indifferent entirely. So.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll agree. Next.
All right, Andrew.
Anne
Lincoln.
Hathaway as Lestrange.
That one I like. I like that one a lot.
So I don't really know. So I really don't even know who Andrew Lincoln would be playing. I really don't even know who that
says
is.
it right there.
I know, but I really don't even know who that is.
Carot. Wasn't he one of the Death Eaters that with Lestrange cursed Neville's parents?
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. He
Yes.
doesn't really say much in the movies. But
Yeah,
in the
he's
books
kinda just, like,
he
there.
plays a big role because he's one of the 3 Death Eaters along with Bellatrix Lestrange who
Cursed the
Cursed.
long
So-
bottoms.
the Longbottoms.
So I will say
The Cruciatus
questionable
curse.
on the questionable on the one on the left
Yeah.
because we don't really know
yeah,
what he would
Yeah,
we can't
not
really,
much
We can't
can
really
be
give an
said,
answer. Not a
personally.
whole lot to work
The one on the
with.
right,
Anne
though, I
Hathaway.
really like that.
do. As Bellatrix Lestrange. I love it.
I would
like it a
actually.
lot.
I feel like
because-
I feel like she would kill it. Honestly.
Yeah.
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 Next,
Good.
All right,
Nathan Lane as Vernon.
and
Ben Kingsley
That
as
one could be funny.
Cornelius. Fudge.
And every time I see Nathan Lane, I think of like a comedy, like something funny that's
Yeah.
gonna make me like gut laugh. And Vernon does not make me gut laugh.
yeah,
He's like the stern.
He
angry-
could make you gut laugh though. Like
He
they could
could.
change the character kind of.
I
entirely
mean,
just to make
that's
him very
true. I
goofy.
mean, like, we don't
because he
know
kind
what
of
they're
was
gonna do with these
goofy. He
characters.
kind of
Yeah.
was goofy in the Harry
Yeah.
Potter series. You know.
I like
Kingsley
Ben
as
Kingsley.
Cornelius though.
I don't know about the role.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
the actor's cool, but
Yeah.
the role.
I don't,
Yeah.
I love Kingsley. I
Maybe,
just don't know
like,
about Cornelius.
Fudge.
Cornelius.
He'll be the one that says.
Yeah. I think Ben Kingsley. He could be somebody else, but I can't think of who it is. But there's like a role that I could see Ben Kingsley in.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway,
Well, we're gonna get
next.
to that one soon.
Pretty sure we are. Not the next one though. We got Anthony Hopkins as
Anthony
Filch.
Hopkins has hit.
as Filch
I love that.
and Maggie Gyllenhaal
Yeah,
as Petula.
I could see that one.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see Maggie as Petunia.
I really like Anthony Hopkins'
Filch.
That would be.
They got the same bangs on their eyes.
same kind of persona. They got going on there.
I would love
Mysterious.
that. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see
Yeah.
Maggie Gyllenhaal as
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
That's
as
Jake's
Yeah,
wife, yeah?
I believe it's either Jake's wife or
Or his sister, yeah.
That'll be very interesting.
Next.
Okay, so off the rip,
Oh,
Sally Field
Field as Molly.
as
Yes,
Molly
please.
That's a
give
good
it to
one.
me.
Yes,
Cast
please.
it.
I love that woman.
Cast it now.
She's such a great mom.
Cast
figure.
Such a great
now.
mom figure. Oh my god! But and both of them, both the original and
Yes.
the and
Give
Sally
me Sally
Field.
Field, please.
Oh my goodness
Please,
gracious!
please give me Sally Field for Molly Weasley. I
Yeah.
would
100%.
adore. I already adore Sally Field, but I would adore her even more.
Mm-hmm. Now as
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie as Arthur Weasley.
It's tough because Hugh is he plays some very serious
Yes.
characters.
Yeah.
And Arthur is a little bit like clumsy, a little
Yeah.
like nerdy.
Yeah,
Which I mean, like he can be very nerdy too.
but he's
like
he's
like
professional as well.
yes.
I
So-
can kind of see it.
You could put them together. Like I think working with if Sally did was Molly,
Oh my
the two of them
God.
together would be pretty good. So I think they could make it.
I
work.
think
I
so.
mean, I
yeah.
mean, HBO.
Hey, they can do whatever.
Don't pay us any money, but cast Sally Field as Molly Weasley,
Yes,
please.
please.
For all of us fans,
Do it for the children.
do it for the children.
Next. Tom Holland as Cedric Diggory. And Melissa McCarthy as the fat lady.
Now,
That one's good.
and now I like the Melissa McCarthy, but she's not really fat anymore,
No.
right?
Good,
And
which good for her.
Yes,
But I
it's
mean, come on.
great.
If this was like 10 years
just
ago,
don't-
yes.
I just don't like.
But she would still kill it in that role.
She
still
would.
killing
She's
it
got
in
the
that
vibe.
role.
Absolutely.
She's got the vibe.
She absolutely has the vibe.
I just would she be wanted to be referred to as the fat lady?
I don't
Like,
know. I don't know. But I think she would do good in that role. I think
she
she's
would as well.
hilarious.
Any role that
she's
she's
supposed
in.
to be hilarious.
Any role that she's in, she
Yeah.
really does well.
But now this one, again, if you like seeing Tom Holland die in the MCU, you'll love him as Cedric Diggory. So, anyway,
Yeah,
I can see it.
I
yeah.
can see it.
Next.
next.
Christian Bale as Barty Crouch Jr.
Sean Bean as Lucius Malfoy.
Mm.
I like that one. I feel like Christian Bale might play a good Snape.
I don't know.
I'm not sure too.
I don't know.
That would be one where
I think he would
have to
fit that role
see-
good. Especially after seeing him in Thor: Love and Thunder and what he did with Gore, I think he would be a good Barty Crouch Jr.
But I tell you what,
Sean Bean as Lucius Malfoy.
Malfoy.
That'd be sick.
Love it.
That'd be sick.
Love it.
Next. Oh, Patrick Stewart as Voldemort.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
can't.
I don't really. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Bald
Yep.
makes sense, right? But
And the very, like, you know,
It's alright. Hey,
commanding persona.
I mean, I said this to AP and Ashley the other day, and this is a horrible thing to say, but Patrick Stewart has been engraved in my brain as Professor X for over 20 years, to the point where sometimes I forget that he can actually legitimately walk in real life. Yep.
Oh, Tony.
Well, you know,
I don't. So we're kind of indifferent on the Patrick Stewart
Indifferent.
and Voldemort.
and then the Hermione one, I have no idea who Alicia is.
I really don't know who she is.
She's in Darklands, Don't Leave Home, and Fia's
Never heard of
Fairies.
it.
I feel like
I've heard of Darklands.
I feel like resemblance. I could see it.
Yeah.
I just growing up.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's
if she
gonna,
was gonna
you know.
be like the year one
Yeah.
or even year 1 and 2 Hermione, sure, but she ain't gonna be the year whatever.
That's the thing, though. Like, these
Yeah.
series are gonna be, like,
I mean, do you think?
developing pretty quickly, so, like,
you
are
think
they
need,
gonna
like,
keep...
different
Are they gonna
actors?
I
keep
don't
these
know.
actors?
Like, are you gonna have like
actors,
a year one looking crew take on the big bad, right? Or like, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Or are you just gonna like throw the what is it, like year 7 is their final year? You throw a year 7 adult looking Harry, Ron, and Hermione in the Sorcerer's Stone,
Or they just go...
or they just change it.
Or they just go year by year with the production.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, which I mean, like, if they're gonna do like, what they said, like one season was all the books?
No, one season for one book.
One
Oh,
season
one
for one book.
season for
So they
one
can make a lot of episodes for
That's
just
true.
one season.
They
They can
could
make like up
drag
to
it
30
out.
episodes.
If
They
they
could
go
drag
the
it
Game
out.
of Thrones route or House of the
Which,
Dragons
honestly,
route,
Yeah.
they might.
which I expect them to do, it's most likely going to be 10 episodes for each
Yeah,
season.
that makes sense.
And 45 minutes to an hour long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
there'll be
I-
like 10 plus hours
So,
worth of
I guess it's,
footage for
you know,
the
it's,
book
it's
series.
a little iffy. You know, the children roles as Harry, Hermione, Ron, Ginny, all the kids. It's kind of a toss up.
Yeah, we're kind of like up in the air with it because we don't.
You
These are
don't
new.
really
These are
know,
new
yeah.
young actors coming up on the rise, so we don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
As seen here,
Yes.
like we just don't know yet.
So,
But like we
let's
can
go,
maybe
let's go
let's go by
resemblance.
resemblance. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
resemblance-wise,
Kind of. And
I don't know about Noah Legat, but I could see the.
I can see Lila being.
Yeah, I could
Ginny.
see Lila being Ginny.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, and then our main star of this entire thing,
huh?
Archie Yates
Oh,
as
that.
Harry Potter.
What's he in? Jojo Rabbit was a funny movie.
So, Ashley had brought up that she can't see it because he would have to lose a little bit of weight,
Fair.
which I feel like is fair, and I feel like probably the production team would want him to do anyway.
Yeah.
That would just be tough to do that on a little kid.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like the Josh Peck
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it would just be.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Tough. I mean, like resemblance wise, kind of. I'd say it's
Kind of.
90% there if you're
Yeah.
looking at the glasses and the hair.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Agreed.
But
Anyway.
yeah, and that is it here. That's all we've got.
That's all that we have for this, I guess, a little episode of Rank This. And, you know, that's it. It's basically all we've got for you here today as we're, you know, approaching, you know, our cutoff time here.
Yeah.
So, I would like to thank all of you guys for sticking tuned, for, you know, sticking around, being with us for all of this, and watching everything that, you know, we've been putting out. I appreciate you all being here. Tony, thank you for being here.
Thanks for
doing the
having
show
me. Thanks
with
for
us.
Thank you. For
Anytime.
Appreciate it, man. Really do.
Yeah.
You know, thank you, Sydney, for letting us steal him for one night.
Thank you,
yeah.
Sydney.
Any final words? And I'm gonna have to have you hold this, my
get
friend,
this out of here
because I'm
for
gonna
you. Yeah.
moving into some people's faces here in a second as we're wrapping stream up here.
Yeah.
I want you all to have a fantastic night, a fantastic week, fantastic weekend. Stay healthy, stay well.
Wow. This is
We love
deep.
you all. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah. What he said. Oh.
And you better be good. Lower.
She up? Nope.
Lower,
Lower.
lower,
Lower. Yeah, you're good. Wait.
You better be good.
Yeah.
You better be good.